Di ko lang kung naispatan siya ni KLP doon. Mukhang oo, nakita mo yung play of the first nakuputuhan niya.
Has to be careful, but he gets the shot and he makes it trouble. Saving play pa. Tuguan na nga ngayon si Cetra. Elvin nakabantay. He's gonna get one and also two huge.
Nakaya, pero wait lang, hindi pa rin tapos yun. Lahat ng action, masusundan pa. We are gonna be seeing prevalence race here dito sa house.
Ano dun, no? Flash grenade? PSA! Kitang-kita niya sa KFP!
Palala ang bagyo at painit ng painit ang mga laban. Welcome to the day 9 of the CFS SCA Masters 2026 na kung saan kada isang round, it carries more weight and every mistake becomes more costly. At right now, no, depende na lang sa kanila kung ano ang kakalabasan nito. Kami ang yung kasama dito na we're pana, Mochi and Salvatore nga pala. And it's been a while, Salvatore, na pinagdikit tayo dito ngayon. How are you doing so far?
Solid, honestly, no, especially sa mga matches na aabangan nga natin, no, from acceptances, amazing win yesterday. Ipagpapatuloy nga ba nila ang kanilang winning ways, no? At ito nga pala ang matches na inaabangan talaga natin, no? From Swiss, nagkaroon tayo ng onting glimpse kung ano ba ang kalibre na itong mga teams na maglalaban, that being VP and Stallions, who is on the board right now. Pero syempre, gagawa ng lasting impression dito ang CBF at Atras for their respective matches, no? It's all competition at ito nga talaga ang pure crossfire na makikita natin.
Of course. Kaya balikan din natin, no, kung ano nga ba yung mga nangyari from yesterday dahil hindi rin naging biro ang mga kinalabasan nito, no, nung sinimulan nito ng Fervid and as well as Team Acceptance. Team Acceptance showed, no, na sa oras ibigay mo ang sa base na yan and din in their newest tip-top shape, abaya, kaya nilang tapusin, no, itong 2-0 na laban natin.
Kalahin mo ka naman nakakagulat na resulta, no? To quote a wise man by the name Ramon, no? Pervid umabot talaga sa panglimang stage ng grip dito, that being acceptance, at tinanggap na lang talaga ng Pervid na okay, meron talagang araw si Heck, meron talagang araw si Silent dito, no? And those two mentioned players nga naman talaga are the longest standing members ng Team Acceptance, who honestly showed etong mga bata, no, na they don't have the ropes just yet, no? Pinakita nga ng Acceptance na they are indeed the veterans of this match, at ang ganda man talaga ng pagkaka-lead nga nila from both Ting and as well as K-Dre. Pero huge shout out sa performance ni Ajax doon sa loob ng Ankara, which what we're seeing right now. Kasi nga Ajax, from an attacker perspective, parang hindi ko alam paano mo nagawa na i-outsniper both A7J and Lan. So it really shows na meron nga naman talagang training regimen tong Acceptance na gumagana up against the top teams, no? Feeling ko nga Fervid just did not have the preparation, no? Siguro the mindset na if we prepared good enough for Stallions, preparado din tayo sa Acceptance, kita nga naman na hindi yun umobra.
Exactly. At minsan, no, hindi mo talaga i-expect na magiging ganito din yung performance nito. I mean, sino ba naman talaga nag-expect, no? I think our predictions already says a lot about this one, no, where all of us actually favored for Vid for winning that one. Pero instead, no, it is quite the opposite ang nangyari. And I hope, or we hope that Team Acceptance will be able to continue this moving forward. Pero dito naman, no, we have matches and as well as Atras wherein matches been able to conquer them naman, no, pero hindi nila kaagad pinakawalan ang mapa ng Ankara dahil tumapok pa tayo dito ng overtime.
Grabe, inuunti-unti na nga ng matches yung mga matches nga nila, no, in order for them to see the daylights of playoffs, no. Pero itong Black Widow talaga, no, parang pinakita talaga ng Atras that they can definitely play this map. Ang kaso nga lang talaga, matches was more prepared lethally, no, in the aspect na mas magaling nga sila mag-split push and they can definitely anchor the sites that are needed nga naman, no. So from rotations ni Ninkyu, from the shots ni Zack, kompleto nga naman talaga ang Black Widow ng matches, no. Pero yung Ankara, parang nakita ko, no, okay, 6-3 half para talaga dito, no, sa side ng Atras, but we all know what just happened. But man, the Black Widow, the emphasis of gameplay from matches, nag-translate lang talaga siya way better dito sa loob nga ng second set natin, no, from some amazing plays na ibabato talaga ni Ninkyu, who I think is right now the consistent player for matches, always dishing out the top frags, no. Noong mga nakaraang linggo, hindi man nila nakukuha ang panalo, but Ninkyu was still in the top frags. Pero right now, nagkakaroon na nga ng resulta mo, Chino. Ninkyu's effect is definitely felt by matches, no, and despite, you know, the top level performance ni JKM at CRG, kita mo nga naman from the clutches ni RTA, apparently nag-crumble pa rin under the pressure ang Atras, and matches took that punishment.
And I believe na Ninkyu been able to rack up the most kills na meron tayo so far, no? Na umabot siya ng 31 kills lang naman, no, for that entire series, which is just insane. Pero para sa ating finisher for yesterday, we had Comeback Friends and as well as Execration, na kung saan Comeback Friends talagang pinarealize ng Execration dito, no, na marami pang kakulangan para sila ay tunay ng matapatan dito, no, sa mapa ng Ankara and as well as Eagle Eye. And despite the some advantage, no, and unpredictability ang inoffer ng Comeback Friends dito sa Eagle ay parang kinapos pa rin talaga sila dito, Salvatore.
Marami pang kakainin ng CBF na kanin no? Kaso nga lang, unlimited rice. Kasi, kita mo, like, kulang-kulang talaga sila sa energy sa loob ng Ankara. Pero, sumobra nga naman yung pagkabusog nila doon sa second half ng Eagle Eye kasi bigla na lang sila natulog from that play from Execration, no? But, right now, in Ankara, nagkulang lang talaga ako, no? May showmanship naman dito ang CBF. Kaso nga lang, pre, pag buhay si Folex tsaka si MVA, tila hindi na lang convert ng maayos yung round, no? Just goes to show na meron nga naman talagang underlying epektong may passive, no? Si Polex tsaka si MVA para ma-secure nga nila yung round. Both space creators and mid-round callers, no? Grabe nga naman, Execration was just the more prepared team dito nga sa laban na to, no? And as far as it goes, no? Etong Eagle Eye talaga umabot ng 8-4, hindi ma-close out na maayos ng Execration, but look no further than Folex helping etong Execration na finally ma-breakthrough yung kadena ng kanilang slow start dito sa second half at nakuha na nga nila yung panalong yun. Very well played for Execration, no? Folex was just that consistent sa pag-deliver nga ng mga crucial kills.
Exactly. And kahit naman na ganun yung naging outcome din dito, no, still acknowledged pa rin natin, no, kung ano yung mga offer din dito ni Comeback Friends as a team. It's just that they need a bit more experience. And I think your playbook, kumbaga, no, bago tayo kuha ng mga additional nating achievements, if I may say. Pero I think it's also time for us, no, na matunghayan natin yung mga pangyayari na talagang nagpanganga sa maraming mga audience natin at pati sa atin, no, na ilang sa atin ay napasigaw, no. Shout out kay Bipolar at shout out sa akin, no, after seeing this. Ay, simulan na natin ito, no, for our first one, and this is from Zach.
So I believe, no, Zach was able to get some amazing shots in, no. Parang napakalupit nga naman for mga caliber of a player like Zach. So makikita na nga natin. Alright, so yun, si
Okay, RTA dalawa muna.
Si RTA nga, no. So yun, RTA, I believe this was a 4K from the split push mula sa Vince and as well as EA, no. So si RTA na lang, technically may kasama siya. But then again, parang hindi natin naramdaman yung pagkasama nga dito ni Kid. Kid got picked off, pero tingnan naman ang spray control dito ni RTA. And by God, no, RTA, grabe, pinapadikit niya nga talaga yung laban. No? This was Matches' way to finishing off the game. Pero RTA, grabe, dumating talaga sa nangangailangang oras ng atras.
Yep, and it also just shows, no, na bilang isang IGL niya dito, parang hindi man lang din na biro yung mga pinagagagawa niya dito sa ating lobby, and the fact na the time na kaya niya na magmando ng kanyang mga kasama while at the same time being this impactful of a person dito sa kanilang team just says a lot, no, sa kung ano yung kalibre dito ni RTA. Pero I think meron din maipapakita dito sa si Kid, no, kasi nakakuha siya ng ace after yung push niya nung nag-press W dito, no, sa ating lobby.
And isa rin si Kid na maaabangan nga natin mamaya, no, for his amazing bout up against Virtus Pro. At syempre, meron pang score to settle ang Virtus Pro mamaya with Atras. At makikita nga natin yun mamaya. Let's now head into this amazing play. No, una sa lahat, grabe nga naman talaga yung initial play na ginawa nga talaga ni Kid was just that tad bit better. No? Parang feeling ko dapat iniista ka na siya kaagad ng matches dito. No? Pero the way he separated each fight para pumabor nga sa kanya was just ungodly, no, para dito kay Kid. And despite it being, you know, a match na natalo nga ang Atras, Kid definitely finished the series na mayroon nga talagang papatunayan with their with the match upcoming, no, with Virtus Pro. Kita mo agad, no, dinoble jump niya agad dito yung box papuntang win A. Walang nakatingin, walang nag-report na magpapa-win A si Kid at nabakanting ataol lang nga dito, no, ang natitirang buhay ng matches. Nahanap na nga ni Vincent kung nasaan si Kid. Isang peek, one swing is all it takes, no, para kay Kid na makuha yung kill na yun. Very well impressive para dito kay Kid.
Very well impressive as well. And the moment na kinayin niya, no, na isa-isahin tong mga miyembro natin dito, being able to catch every single one of them off guard despite the fact na Zach already has some initial information, no. Ay, it's just insane to see, no, sa kung paano ito na-manage ni Kid na ubusin isa-isa mga miyembro natin from matches. And I know they haven't been able to get this, pero still, no, it just shows how Kid can be, or what Kid will be in the fullest form possible. Even timing, oh. Saktong-sakto
Nati.
talaga.
Parang hindi na siya bata sa mga oras nga niya.
Hindi talaga.
Parang isang malaking veteranong move yung ginawa doon ni Kid Mochi.
True. And isa pa to, no? Kung kayang magwala ni Kid, kaya ding magwala ni Ninkyu because he also managed to take a very astounding 4K, and it all starts dito, no? Sa ating floor A, kung saan kahit ilan yung lumapit, Salvatore, no? Hindi talaga. Hindi sila maka-acto ng maganda. Sinusolo niya lahat.
Thank you. Sabi si Nico, hindi ka na ba nagsasawa? Week 1, nandiyan ka na. Week 2, nakita na namin, nadadalawa ka pang nasa top 5. Tapos dito, mag-a-appear ka na naman sa week number 10 na parang walang nangyari, no? Look at the separation kung paano niya nilalaro yung Biniter na Obochi. He gets the first shot. Nilalaro niya ka dito si CRG. And then, that kill from K was so instantaneous na dapat mauna nga si K. Well, gets no? Nakaka-head glitch dito si Ninkyu, no? But it's the mere fact na apat sana yung magpupush sa kanya. Actually, dalawa ka no? Napaangat sana ng yellow, no? But clearly, Ninkyu had other businesses to attend to at yun ang ubusin ng atras.
True. And I do think na meron pa tayong additional dito, no? Na kanina naman kaya ito galing kasi parang meron ata tayong kikid uli na additional, no? Correct me if I'm wrong na lang, but I do think that we already have another one coming up, pero base doon sa nakita din natin kanina, no, Salvatore, it's nice na nakikita natin yung mga baguhan natin mga teams dito, no, from Qualips, wherein they've been able to just show, no, na kaya nilang kumantay dito sa ilan nating mga players. But right now we have Paul dito, no, from Execration.
Abe, Mochi, no? Hindi na nakakagulit yung mga kills dito sa HK, dito sa 4K para makapasok si Folex sa loob ng site. Pero we want to replay the clip kagad dito. Parang, okay, he will be getting these 2 headshots, no? Golden headshots sa loob nga ng smoke. But let's take a look at this replay, no? Papasok si Folex nang walang kamuwang-muwang no? Flinashot na nga nila yung top A, pero syempre si Folex hindi pa rin matitinag yan. Hawak niya yung HK, mag-USP pa siya papasok, fiflikan niya yung nasa top A na bandang kaliwa, pang headshot pa yung nakuha niya. At ayun, no, HK player ka, EBR player ka, syempre uunahin mo yung primary weapon mo, no? Pero si Polex, gagawin kong EBR tong USP na to. And, man, di ko alam paano mo nagawa yan na Polex, no? What an amazing ace. And to start off itong Ankara, as a map number 1 na parang wala pang ka-warm up ditong Execration, clearly, dyan pa lang, alam mo nag-iinit na kagad si Polex.
Exactly. And nakita din naman na natin dito yung mga galawan dito ni Paul na kung saan, no, umpisa pa lang, we've already been able to see how he's been able to improve, no? Na wala na yung group stage moments na kung saan meron siyang mga negative KD or hindi ganun kalaki yung kanyang nagiging rating, no? This time, it is quite of a different fashion. Pero, I do think that we also have our top one, no? Kanina naman kaya ito galing, it is from no other than Zach, na kung dati-dati iniisip natin, no, nasa na si Zach, ito na si Zach, no?
Buti naman, no, Mochi, nahanap na natin yung mga taong nawawala from Ajax and ngayon si Zach. Nice initial kill, no? Pero tumatalon doon si K. That was insane. Ito nga pala yung player na pwede mong wallbangin sa 2F pero walang humuhuli sa kanya. An ungodly flick from Zach and that instantaneous shot papunta doon kay RTA, men. Baliw ka talaga, Zach. Hindi ko ma-explain paano mo ginawa yon lahat considering na sa sandwich na siya. paangat na sana ng B-slope yung dalawang players mula sa hotel at pupushin siya sana ni Kay. Kaso nga lang pre, lumabas ng smoke dito si Kay, tatalon-talon siya, kita sa
Grabe.
manipis na part ng smoke, tapos the sense of urgency, ay walang nakatingin ng hotel, ako na lang dito, no? And Zach, parang it's not even 2 motions, it's just 1 motion na may kita niya yung paangat ng B-slope at talagang pinoga niya dito si CRG. That was insane, Zach. Highly deserving of a top 1 play.
Well, ewan ko, no? Parang nung isang beses lang pinakita natin dito yung off the rip na pick dito ni Revenge. I feel like pwede natin ihalin tulad yun sa isang nakuhang patay din dito ni Zack, which is just insane. But at the same time though, the ability na magpalipat-lipat, no? Para ensured na lahat, no? Covered niya, no? Grabe naman talaga ang ating top 1 play from Zack. But also, let's check out ang ating bonus clip, no? From our one and only Yaba, no? Against the Execration na nakaklatch siya.
Ay, resident backup player, no? Pero nagbuka talaga siyang hitman dito, no? Quote-unquote by sneaky from this amazing play, no? Honestly. Kasi he got the first kill. Mukhang kumbinsido na ako sa post plant ng Execration dito, no, Mochi? Kasi Execration and post plant goes well together. Pero men, hiwa-hiwalay sila. They were layered. Kulang-kulang sila sa impormasyon kahit nasumbong na si Yaba na nasa RS nga siya. And to top it off, no, sabi niya, okay, marami namang oras. Ikutan ko na lang kaya. Mag-ingay nga ako ng onte. Tapos, eto, finul commit niya yung pagpunta ng hotel heading into rampa. Nasa may bandang 2F dito si MBA. Yaba, of course, tatapusin mo yung play ng naka-USP ka at talagang direkta mo agad sa bungo, kinaltokan ka lang ni MBA resulting in 5 HP at mapapasabi na lang ng sayang Execration. Pero men, Yaba, no, welcome to Manila. Clearly, the upgrade was felt kasi hindi ako nagkakamali, tumaprag ka dito sa Eagle Eye.
I mean, nakita na rin naman natin na ganito kapalo. Hindi, meron ng levels na nagiging palo si Yaba. Pero parang ngayon mas lalo pa siyang lumala. No? So, I guess him being here din sa mapa ng Eagle Eye just gives them all the more avenue, no? Para mas magwala, mas maging magulo, mas magpalipat-lipat, no? At mas rumagasa ng mga membro natin dito from the counterpart. And who would have thought, no, na someone like Yaba can gear himself up, no, against some of the greatest, and yun na, no, been able to take that highlight just that swift and just that simple, no. Kung kala mo sobrang dali gawin ng pinagagawa dito ni Yaba, pero dude, it's just nice that we are witnessing these types of highlights, no, galing dito sa ating mga players, and every single time, iba at iba yung mga taong nakikita natin. It's no longer something na we just keep on saying the same people, and it's already someone else, no? Every single team, a different player as well. Pero, I think it's also time for us to witness some picks off the play, no? Because I do think that these are like some clips na kung saan pinili ng ating mga co-talents or co-casters because again, they saw something interesting dito sa mga laruang ito, Salvatore.
Okay, so yun na nga, no, pasisimulan natin itong segment na to with an amazing play from Acceptance, no. At feeling ko dito sila nag-bounce, Mochi, no. Ito yung naging reflection na nakita nga natin from Acceptance na makukuha nga talaga nila yung panalo dito, no. Habang inaayos pa nga natin yung clip, I can assure you hindi kayo manlulumo sa makita yung ginagawang play dito ni Silent, pati na nga rin ni Heck, kasi considering, no, Fervid ang bigat nung pangalan, no, Mochi, pero grabe, ginaganon lang talaga sila, no? So, with 52 seconds left on the clock, kinakapapa ngayon ni Heck, uy, baka may umangat ng wood. Si Silent pumapwesto na nga kagad, no? And this is going to be an amazing play from Dre. Mahuhuli nila si A7J looking at LR. Nakita na nga nila, spotted, and one-tap siya instantly kay Dre. Kung makikita mo sa mapa, already gumagalaw na nga si Silent for that CR lurk kasi nga manggagaling pa nga siya ng vents. But the initial play, syempre, matagal gumapag sa vents, eh. Binabagalan ng konti ng Acceptance, nasa LR pa rin sila. Nahuli ni Diat nila yung mga kills nila, but Dre forcing a 2v1 at tignan mo, nagbunga yung lurk dito ni Silent. At ano ang naging itsura ng Fervid? Ayun, nga talaga sila. Nagulat na lang sila, naubos sila dito nila Silent at ni Dre. Amazing play.
Yes, and I love how they've been able to communicate this din, no, internally. Imagine all of the poems coming in na kung gaano kalinaw at kung gaano ka-direct. Then, especially just towering through dito from LR and all over the place here para dito, no, sa ating mga fervid people. Well, unfortunately for them, no, they got cornered. And despite this pickup din dito kay Lance, no, it became short-lived, no. Hindi na ito na maintain. They haven't been able to keep up with the pressure that is yung lahat ng mga member natin from Team Acceptance towering over them. And mayo, no, wonderful call and play din dito, no, sa lurk din ni Silent. Grabe. And I do
Uy,
think that we
grabe.
also have a play that's being chosen dito, no, by Sneaky Frog naman. Kasi this features like a specific round of Atras versus Matches.
Okay, so isa-isahin nga natin, no? Atras already, no? Coming from a 6-3 half, syempre, they want this overtime already finished. At ang ginawa nga nila, inunahan nila kagad ang matches na nasa loob ng TB, forcing a 5v2, pero grabe yung naging chip damage ni Kid. Kaso nga lang, sa sobrang bakante ng LA, nakapag-lurk si Ninkyu, got the rotating J-Kim na by this time, full health siya. Ngayon, piso si Kay, nakita
Oh,
umangat
look
ng
at
2F
that.
at talagang pinadaanan pa yun ni Ninkyu. Now it's a 2v3. This is going to be looking bad para sa Atras kasi dapat meron silang map control ngayon. They already established this crossfire sa may RS kasi nandoon si Kid sa uluhan. Yung mga A players parating pa lang ng RS. But man, Vincent with an amazing read, repositioning to hotel. Nakaikot nga si Kid na akala niya ata siya ang malalasan niya mismo dito si Vincent. And now it's a 2v2. Okay, no? Daming oras. There's like literally like 10 seconds of a window para makapagtanim pa sila ng C4. Pero men, ang inisip ng matches, let's just clear the site. Napakadaming oras. We should not be playing under the pressure. We should be playing in the level of matches talaga. Here comes the bomb plant. Planted for RS kasi clearly gustong laruin ni Vincent yung tower, no? So nag-rotate sila pareho dito except for Ninkyu na nag-hard rotate nga talaga heading into B slope. Ngayon, si CRG, hinahanap na ngayon. Nasa na si Vincent eh. Planted for RS. For sure, magta-tower siya. CRG, aakyat. He will be getting the pick dito. Kaso spotted na si Ninkyu sa may B slope. Gets RTA at pababa si CRG. And he gets the headshot as well. Converting the 2v5 matches out of this world. Men, apakalupit.
Apakalupit indeed. And you know what? They could have been able to pinch Ninkyu, no, nung nandoon yung dalawang players natin from HM and as well as dun sa bandang akyatan nitong si Kid. Pero yun nga lang, I understand that in theory, no, in best case scenario is to take additional spaces but unfortunately hindi niya yon nagawa. And instead, Ninkyu, parang naging trade-off niya is hayaan mong buhay si Ninkyu at kukuha ka ng space at yun yung pinili niya. Which is quite unfortunate kasi Ninkyu has been able to scale up to the best second dito sa round na ito. I guess that just amplifies kung gaano kalala si Ninkyu as a player. And boy oh boy, the calls here are just insane and on point para dito sa parehong mga miyembrong naiiwan natin for matches. Nice try for Atras during this round though. Pero let's see ko ano naman ang meron for our next one because I do think na Salvatore, you chose this specifically. It is the round of Execration versus Comeback Friends.
Well, this is impressive, no? Kasi coming from an 8-4, Execration hindi nila matapos-tapos, Ben. Pero isa sa mga pinakamalupit plays ni Tetsu, okay, naka-comeback na namin, rush nga tayo ng site para matrof ang kalaban. They got LB control, nakapasok nga si Aldrin, kaso si Fallex, nung nakuha niya yung kill doon kay Woos, nanatili pa siya sa hotel. Tapos nakapag-bypass pa siya. Take a look at tong pwesto ni Fallex mamaya, no, Mochi, because that will be important. Ngayon, magtatawag na nga sila ng rotation. Si CBN, pati na nga rin si, I believe, CBN and as well as si Yotape, hahawakan nga nila yung RS na to para hindi makapag-push ang CBF. And now, they're waiting. Inaantay nila si Fallex na makapwesto nga pabalik ng hotel para matrove kung sino man yung taong doon. That being Yaba. Ngayon, pumasok na nga sila. Tetsu gets traded. Yaba is distracted. Hindi niya alam kung tutulungan niya si Aldrin o hindi, and in return namatay dito si Yaba. Ngayon, Fallex, clutch, 17 seconds left on the clock. Clearly may advantage dito si Aldrin kasi nga mayroong smoke. Kaso nga lang, hindi pabor sa kanya yung smoke, nawala, and Fallex doing Fallex things, one tapping Aldrin. Grabe nga naman talaga, and with 3 seconds remaining, they got the lead back to Execration's favor. Kinansela nila ang comeback ng Comeback Friends.
And you know what? They could have been able to overwhelm Paul here, but it didn't happen like that at all, no? Instead,
Grabe.
they became so occupied scrambling all over the place, no? Thinking, ano nga ba yung ipaprioritize natin? To the point na everything already fell apart before they even know it, no? Pero again, no, sometimes it's also up to the timing din sa kung paano mo ilalapag itong mga utilities natin. It's quite unfortunate nga na hindi ito umubra para kay Aldrin, and thus the round has been taken away dito ng Execration. Grabe, Eagle Eye. Every single chaotic play comes from this one, and that is also something that you would love the moment na pinipili din itong mapang ito ng ating mga teams, no? Ang lala naman talaga. Pero after all of that chaos, ng shenanigans na yon, tingnan natin ang ating updated na standings right now, because that indeed affected our standings. Although, hindi naman ganon kalala, no? Nag-shift at nagkanda palit-palit lang naman ang mga pwesto natin from 2nd to 6th, but most of them will still be, in theory, qualifying sa ating playoffs.
I mean, no, Bochi, it's already shaping up. We're now approaching week number 4, rather, no, in acceptance with that huge win to Fervid. They dropped Fervid 2 places at ngayon nakuha na nga nila yung prime playoff spot. Pag number 6, pwede ka pa mag-playoffs, no? At Patches, kita mo nga naman kung nasan sila ngayon. Hinahabol nila ng hinahabol ng onte ang number 6 spot na yan. Pero tignan mo naman kung sino umangat, no? Acceptance at number 2. We live in a world, mo, Chibela, na ang number 1 at number 2 team is Comeback Friends and Acceptance. No? Welcome to the new era of CROSSFIRE, at kailangan to tanggapin ng mga tao na papasok pa lang ang week number 3. Ang ganda na nagiging impressions ng Comeback Friends and Acceptance. But this is week number 3. Meron pa tayong week number 4 na ma-determine nga talaga ang final na itsura na itong standings nga na to, and I'm very very excited for that week. Pero yung mga matches ng week 3, feeling ko ito talaga yung dapat kaabang-abang.
Exactly. And keep in mind, guys, yung iba sa kanila, no, match 6 na, match 7 na, yung kanilang mga nalalaro dito. Yung iba is 2-3 pa lang. So, also keep that in mind when you look out our standings, kasi again, no, there's still yet to be unveiled, no? Kung ano nga ba talaga yung totality at kung sino nga ba yung for sure at secure na dyan sa ating playoffs. Pero alam nyo ba, guys, na meron kayong chance na manalo ng 100 e-coins dito lang dahil sa papanood nyo at pagpili ng favorite nyong mga highlights simula or galing sa inyong mga paboritong mga players. All you have to do is to choose kung kaninong highlights yon, like and follow ang ating CROSSFIRE Philippines Facebook and YouTube pages. Ilapag yun na dyan dito, no, sa ating sangbang side. Dito, no, ang ating QRs dyan, down below. Scan nyo dyan at piliin, share the post, be sure na nakapublic yan para kita ng ating mga moderators at i-ensure na nandoon sa inyong caption ang ating dalawang hashtags na hashtag CFS Play of the Week and hashtag CFS Master Summer, and sabihin nyo na rin kung bakit yon yung deserve na maging Play of the Week. At through that, pwede kang mapili at makakuha ng 100 e-coins. At anong pa nga ba yung mga pwede nyong gawin sa e-coins na yun, no? Pambili rescue kit yan, ng armor, lahat-lahat na. Ikaw nang bahala, pumili ka na lang.
Pero yun, no, Bochi, tama ka doon sa 100 e-coin. Considering na may mga lotong lumalabas ngayon, syempre gusto mo talaga one-tapin yung mga weapons nga na yan. And yung, kung di ako nagkakamali, no, yung Topaz Lotto natin, bago na nga, no? And definitely
Yes.
live right now. Nabalita ko, nakuha nga ni Bipolar yun ng one-tap, no? Kaya congrats dito kay Bipolar, meron na nga siyang
Sana
bagong
all.
VIP. At baka ikaw na nga ang susunod. Ikaw na nga siguro ang susunod pag nanalo ka dito sa ating e-coin giveaway.
Exactly. And with that, no, yung pamigayan na yan, meron din tayong schedule right now. Para naman updated kayo sa ating happenings, we have 3 matches still for today na kung saan magtatapat ang
Wow.
Execration and as well as Team Acceptance. We also have Comeback Friends versus Team Stallions at syempre Virtus Pro versus Atras ESPORTS. Series of Tales of Fire para sa buong araw na ito, Salvatore.
Grabe, Acceptance, papatunayan nga nila na yung nangyari kahapon was not a fluke, at ipagpapatuloy nga nila ang kanilang win streak ngayon in order for them to secure a playoff spot. At ito pa talaga ang mga sumunod, no? We have Stallions and Virtus Pro today. Ngayong araw, pinagsabay natin ang laban ng Stallions at ng Virtus Pro respectively. Kung maalala mo, nung day 2 ng Swiss stage natin, CBF was very close. Kamuntikan lang nila matalo ang Team Stallions, and they're now facing off once again dito sa ating group stage. Pero anong klase klaseng itsura nga ba ng Team Stallions sa makikita nga natin. The last time that we saw, KLP was still playing and now baka si Revenge nga maglaro. Meanwhile, Virtus Pro and Atras, unsettled business nga, no? Kung sinabi ko nga kanina, kasi syempre gaganti si Coach 02 sa malamyang pagkatalo nga nila ng day 1 ng Swiss.
Exactly, no? At siya pa talaga sa mark my words, no? Abangan ninyo yung laban namin ng Atras at ito na yon. This is the day, everyone. Pero ngayon mag-focus muna tayo with the current match at hand. We have Execration versus Team Acceptance wherein this is gonna be really interesting, no? Nakita na natin kung paano tumapat ang Acceptance sa kanilang kalaban yesterday. Paano naman kaya dito, no? Against Execration. Quite a fun arc nemesis, no? Against Fervid based from what happened simula nung ating spring league last time. This would be a really good point para makita natin, no, ma-power rank natin kung makontrast din natin kung ano ang meron for Execution kontra sa Fervid, and also a testing ground or a probing ground para kay Team Acceptance kung sila nga ba ay merong kapasidad na ulitin muli yung nagawa nilang maganda from yesterday's play.
And I feel like, no, Execration, kung gusto nga nilang makuha nga tong panalo na to with a bit of degree sa respect nga sa sarili nga na ng respeto, they have to opt to ban a particular map na kuha nga na Acceptance kahapon, no? Di bali na nga lang kung ang karo or sa base, bahala na nga lang kayo. But eto nga pala, Execration, the names right now na Mochi, di mo akalain na pwede nga silang magsama-sama forming into one team.
Yes.
But they have like one of the best rankings right now dito sa ating tournament, no? Kasi Execration, gusto nga nilang umangat to number 1 with taking huge W's against Virtus Pro and Stallions. I'm seeing only a major loss to Fervid. Baka yun na nga yung pinakamagandang standing na pwede natin makita this season, no? That being from Execration.
Yeah. And idagdag na rin natin dito, no, na parang from yesterday pinag-uusapan din, bumaba yung naging stats dito ni Yotev, pero bipolar editerated, no, na yung kanyang stats dito just means that there is a lot more balance sa current team na meron siya ngayon despite the lower stats na meron siya from last league in comparison to now. At idagdag na rin natin, no, kung gaano naging iba or mas mature din yung mindset dito ng Execration based from the recent interviews na meron tayo from Paul beforehand. And it's nice, no, nakikita natin to for Execration, pero still, no, Salvatore, you've already been able to mention na sometimes there are some rounds na nahihirapan pa rin silang tapusin until now, and I guess that is gonna be a good test for today. At hanggang ngayon, no, sometimes some things just don't change at all, at kasama na doon yung paglag, quote-unquote paglag ng PovCam ni CBN dito sa ating mga player counts. Pero ito nga ang ating schedule that we have from them right now, pero hindi naman ganun kasama, no? They have 3 series of wins here, at ang tanging pagkatalo na natamasa nila galing sa matches talaga.
Na parang no, na parang typo. Hindi actually, man. Stallions and VP, makukuha ka nila yung panalo, but matches, no? At the time, they didn't have any wins, no? Pero syempre, ang ganda ng pagka-activate nga talaga ni Yetja at Tizak during that series. Kaya talaga nagulantan na lang ang Execration. Clearly, another case ng over-preparation, no? At hindi mo masisisi ang Execration. Mochi, ang dapat sisihin natin, Stallions at Virtus Pro. Lahat ng teams nakatingin sa inyo, no? Nakakalimutan na ng ibang teams tumingin dun sa mga ibang teams din, no? So, yeah, kagagawan pa ng Stallions at ng Virtus Pro. That resulted to a major loss. Pero tignan mo naman ang kanilang upcoming matches. We still have Acceptance and Fervid for their upcoming matches, and as well as Atras. So alam mo nga talaga, no, this might be Execration farming that schedule, o baka ibaliktad na natin ang narrative dito sa Execration na baka lang talaga sa group stage natin sila makita. Sana naman hindi.
Sana hindi. Dahil ang mga katapat nga nila ngayon is gonna be Team Acceptance. It's just right na i-breakdown din natin kung ano nga ba ang meron sa kanila. Even just from yesterday, dude, grabe yung mga naging plays dito ni Silent alas ni Dre. Si Ajax hindi mo na need hanapin kasi nag-MVP din siya from our match yesterday. And still looking good as new as heck, and as well as Sting are still serving each and their own purpose and what's the best that they are known for, no? And I just love how Team Acceptance is looking right now. Sana lang talaga ma-replicate nila yung performance nila from yesterday.
Grabe, no, Bochi. Si Silent lang yung kilala kong MVP na hindi man lang nakikita ng kalaban kung nasaan siya, no? Like, napakadugas ni Silent para makuha yung MVP na yun. Grabe siya mag-lurk. At naging effective
Silang
na to, no, to Fervid. Ang kaso nga lang, magiging effective nga ba to Execration with also lurk player of their own, no, that being CBN. But when we talk about the sheer aim, syempre papabor ka kay CBN, pero syempre si Silent with the veteran experience that he has, for sure magagamit niya nga yun against CBN at baka makita pa nga natin na Acceptance forcing that set number 3. No? Huge shoutout nga pala to the homies of Team Acceptance. No? Parang nagpapataas ata ng calorie intake ngayon si Bosek kasi pagkatapos ng laban na to, sulog lahat yan.
Magbabanat na naman ng buto dito si Bosek for sure. Pero again, no, that also just means no, nagpapakondisyon din sila. No? They need the sugar, they need the caffeine para mas lalo sila makapag-lock in. Kasi hindi naman din talaga biro yung makagiging katapat nila ngayon. Especially that they already have quite of good wins. No? Di naman nakuha nila from Taring Bavi, Manches, Veteran as well as Pervid. All they need is one more or so I think no nung kinompute natin ito. All they need is one more and then they can automatically safely put themselves in a better place that might give them great chances para dito sa ating playoffs. Pero nalaman na rin natin no, kung gaano din kaganda yung naging journey dito ni Team Acceptance and starting from the first time na nagkakagulo sila sa kung paano sila magko-comms, na naghihirapan daw sila, may mga moments na hindi nila nakakascade ng maigay mga kailangan nilang sabihin, pero right now we don't see that at all.
Yeah, definitely. Wala na talaga kakulangan for Acceptance. They definitely lived up to their skill when it comes to individual players, pero pag pinagsama-sama mo yung individual skill na yon and forming it into one cohesive system, napagana nga nila yon. And right now, they are contenders. Hindi na nga sila underrated, no? They are rated as one of the contenders heading into playoffs. Pero tignan mo naman kasi yung schedule nila, Bochi, to prove that they are truly one of the strongest team dito, no? Kakalabanin nga nilang Execration and Stallions respectively. Grabe, Acceptance. This is now the best time to prove everyone wrong, no?
Exactly. And I think it's just right na makita na rin nga natin no, kung ano nga bang meron din sa mga mapa dito. Ang tanong, ibibigay nga kaya ng Execration maya-maya ang sa base. Pero for now, head-to-head, we have Paul and as well as Ajax were in terms of the 70% headshot per kill. Tignan mo naman yan, Salvi.
Well, Ajax parang nagsiswitch kahapon no? Parang kaya niya mag-TRG, kaya niya mag-EBR, so less emphasis on the headshot per kill. Ibigay na natin kay Paul X yan kasi wala siyang parang favorite body part niya no? Yung skull talaga ng tao, talagang pinag-iisipan. Yun din yung ginagamit niya para makapag-isip na mga so hindi kita masisisi Paul X kung yun din yung gusto mong mawala sa mga tao no? That being the headshot machine of Paul X. Pero the emphasis is yung pagkadikit nila ng KD. No? In a world where we compare Folex and Ajax, lahat talaga tutungo kay Folex. But Ajax, with that amazing gameplay from Fervid kahapon, it is only right para talaga ihambing natin si Ajax as he's within the same wavelength ni Folex when it comes to impact frags. Kasi both Ajax and Folex were definitely felt inside of Ankara. No? At yun ang pinakamalupit. It's like seeing two pictures na pareho yung itsura. But definitely, malalaman natin mamaya ang kanilang pinagkaiba the moment the game starts. Kasi Ajax, coming from backup now to attacker na paminsan-minsan nagiging sniper, it's going to create some diversion kung sino nga ba talaga ang mas superior na role player dito sa series.
Exactly. And just a bit of visualization, no? Total headshots na meron tayo para makontas natin kung di pa obvious yung nandun sa stats natin kanina. 108 over 149 kills ang naging headshots dito ni Paul. And in contrast, for Ajax, it is 43 out of 181. So that is quite of a really big difference, no? And also just states kung paano nga ba nagkaiba ang player identity nito. Dalawang itong pinag-head-to-head natin. Pero now, let's check out ang ating map. Vito, again, will Execration do the same mistake of giving away sub-base? Hindi na. Natuto na sila dito, Salvatore.
Dapat lang.
So right now, they'll be choosing Port instead. I have Ankara for our second, chosen by Acceptance, and we are going to Eagle Eye for our decider.
Alright, as much as I don't want to say it, sasabihin ko na I feel like my predictions are saved. Kasi unang move pa lang ng Execration, gumawa na kagad sila ng tama, and then they went into an opposite direction. Hindi sila pumili ang Ankara. That's very, very thoughtful ng Execration na okay, Acceptance na lang ang pipili niyan, and that resulted to, have them having to start sa BL side, which is very very nice of a touch para din sa Execration, no? Kasi may mga gameplays din naman sila na okay sa kanila ang BL start. It's not the best, it's not the greatest, it's good enough for them to gain some momentum bago nga sila maging GR, which is undoubtedly their strongest. Pero yung Angkara, dyan talaga tayo magkakatalo, no, Mochi. Dyan natin makikita if it's going to be enough for us to see Eagle Eye, kasi dyan magkakasik ang acceptance, you know, that's one of their best maps of the year, and they definitely use that narrative para mapalago nga yung confidence ni Heck and as well as ni Silent. So acceptance in a map like Ankara, it's definitely flexible for everyone, pero ini-stoppan na ng acceptance, no, na when you pick this map, kailangan nyo nga talaga maghanda, no. So again, no, Mochi, dito na magkakaroon ng hulma actually, you know, there's going to be an image wherein the head-to-head kanina of Folex and Ajax will be in full effect dyan sa loob na Ankara. Nonetheless, no, very expected map dito for these two teams.
Exactly. And again, no, can't reiterate enough kung gaano ka-importante na hindi nila binibigay yung sub-base dito with the likes of Team Acceptance, because iba din talaga yung rack up nilang momentum if ever that they'll be giving those sa kanila. Pero let us now show kung ano nga ba ang sabi ng ating mga co-talents, no? Ano sa palagay nila ang mangyayari dito. It's gonna be 2-0 all across the board, no, in favor for Execration. And honestly, I was praying na hindi nila ibigay yung sub-base, kasi if that is gonna be the case, no? Kung meron tayo sa base dito sa mapa natin, ligwak na nito lahat. Pero ayun, I think sabi ng Execration, you know what, we're gonna respecting them, and hence, I guess, there is a possibility of this actually happening. Pero again, Team Acceptance, feel free to prove us wrong. Yun naman talaga, lagi yung china-challenge namin dito, no, para sa ating mga quote-unquote underdogs, which sa opinion ko parang hindi na nga underdogs yung tingin natin sa kanila, dahil biro mo napapatasan nila yung mga performance itong mga upper former teams natin. And I also think that we are also gonna hear para sa community natin. Pero what do you have to say para dito sa ating prediction, Salvatore?
Well, kasi Fervid and Execration, no, they have different levels of expressing their skill, no. So feeling ko nga talaga yung expression na pinakita ng Fervid kahapon, medyo tagilid lang talaga. But Execration, with their huge wins against Virtus Pro and Stallions, feeling ko magta-translate na siya very well into a potential sweep. Considering na binan nga nila yung sub-base, they very much mentally prepared na ito nga yung magiging mapa na lalaruin nga nila. And it says a lot for Execration's, you know, pre-round preparation, no. Na bago nga talaga sila magsimula ng laro, they already know the next move ng kanilang kalaban. Kaya nakita nga natin ang 2-0 potential sweep. Pero Acceptance, no, I'm open to a conversation na baka paabutin nyo nga talaga ng Eagle-like, because every series deserves a set number 3, considering na gano'n nga ba competitive tong season na to, Mochi. And I'd love to see that from Acceptance, na baka sila pa nga yung mag 2-0.
True, no? Dahil sa panahon ngayon, hindi ko na masabi. Ewan ko kung ikaw yung nagbanggit nun, pero I think this is by far nga yung most eventful na liga na meron tayo right now. Kasi hindi mo na talaga mapredict ng tama kaagad-agad kung ano nga ba yung mga kalabasan. Pero let's dive in further into the details ng ating harap-harapan of Execration versus Team Acceptance. Kaya kakailanganin natin ng backup. Let us welcome ang ating casters para sa specific match na ito. It is going to be Sneaky Frog and as well as L. Hi guys! Welcome dito sa ating desk naman muli, and I do think that you guys have a lot of feelings para sa ating tapatan so far, despite our unanimous predictions na pabor sa Team Execration. Pwede mong nang simulan ang iyong thoughts dito, Sneaky Frog.
Ayun nga, no, definitely it is gonna come into factor, no, yung nangyari kahapon. I think lahat naman tayo nanood, and if you didn't, what are you doing? Ayun nga, Fervid obviously losing to Team Acceptance dito sa ating last series, but yun nga, no, there is also a bit of a theory going around that ayun nga, Fervid was kind of prepared for an entirely different series nung game na yun, and yun nga, it kind of felt like yung Fervid natin were trying to kind of hash some plays na maybe they are looking forward to that preparation, especially knowing yung kanilang series going into yung next week natin is gonna be a bit hard, no? They're going up against Atras, Fervid, and I feel like dun yung, or rather Execration, feeling ko dun yung preparation na nangyari, and it just seems like Team Acceptance, so nung araw na yun, the communication was really good. para ka sa kanila. And I feel like minention yan dito ni Heck, no? Or kung sino man nag-interview dun sa ating yesterday's games. And I feel like that is one of the main reasons why kung bakit magalaw nga tong team acceptance. I feel like communication was kind of one of their main issues, no? And that's why the team felt very disconnected dito sa kanilang ibang laruan. And it is a bit tragic na walang sub-base na ilalabas dito kasi may pansira sana ng ating predictions. Pero I feel like Execration, no, with their loss up against Patches, they are not taking, any more bets at this point.
Yeah. They want to make sure that it's already locked and loaded, no? Para dito sa ating Vito. But how about you, El? Any insights na pwede mong sabihin para dito, no? As a bird's eye view, especially from an analyst?
I feel like I need to focus more dito, Mochi, no, sa ating team acceptance because right now, antithesis, kumbaga yung tinutukoy ko sa kanila. They are in a 4-3 spot. They have played 7 matches. Pagkatapos itong Execration, they have played 8 matches. Isa na lang yung kailangan nilang match, no? So, if they get this win, that just solidifies their form as an actual contender. Kasi kung makita natin sa kanilang history, it's very topsy-turvy. Nanalo sila sa Rosie, matalo sila sa kanilang Impact friends from atras, and then they're suddenly going to win against Fervid. So, parang inaayos pa talaga nitong acceptance rather, yung kanilang formula. At pag na-perfect nila yan, dito sa XA, I feel like if they go into the playoffs, they're going to make their mark.
And this is exactly the biggest challenge yet, no? In order to put themselves na with the PO slot. Pero talaga simulan na nga natin, no? Focus naman tayo ngayon for Execration. Kasi similar to Team Acceptance, they cannot afford to lose in this series. Kasi baka mag-swap sila ng posisyon with Matches, Salvatore.
Yes, parang napaka-ironic talaga ng standings ng week number 3. No? Execration defeated Virtus Pro and Stallions, yet they're number 5. And definitely, tama nga naman talaga itong headliner natin. No? Kasi hindi dapat matalo dito ang Execration. No? We always say na Execration, outside of Virtus Pro and Stallions, they can win any game imaginable, even to a Vietnam team. No? Kayang-kaya talaga ng Execration. But right now, this is the least of their concerns na naisipin na, okay man, di natin, parang, feeling ko dapat matalo tayo dito. No, pre. Kailangan makuha talaga ng Execration tong panalo na to to number 1, solidify their place in the playoffs, prove everyone na nagpe-prepare nga sila sa lahat, and make sure na Yotib is definitely the greatest acquisition in CrossFIRE history kasi syempre, pwedeng mag-pop off dito si Yotib and that could result to an Execration win. At syempre, si Yotib yung inaabangan natin ngayon with a huge radar dito kay Yotib kasi nga yun yung aabangan natin pag nag-playoffs tayo. So yeah, Execration kahit naman matalo sila dito, they will be getting a playoff spot for sure. But syempre, no, Execration wants a clean exit dito sa ating group stage.
Exactly, na lalong-lalo na napakita din dito ni Matches beforehand, no, na once na makuha din itong si Yotev for multiple rounds, maaaring mapilayan ng malala itong si Execration, and I hope that they've been able to address that mere fact and issue or weakness na pwedeng i-exploit dito ng Team Acceptance. But I do think that we should also put our eyes on Fall, no? Kay Fall X. Kasi he's been bouncing back from last week's performance, which is wonderful. And based from having a 0.4 rating, galing dun sa laban nila ng Matches in Ankara, Fall now had that match MVP against comeback friend Sneaky Frog.
Yeah, and it was definitely needed, no, para dito kay Paul to have a performance like this kasi pakiramdam ko na yung nakita natin galing sa last series from Matches especially, right, that is the type of game that will just remove your confidence entirely as an attacker. Pero I think, yun nga, no, having known Paul for, kind of the longest time dito, I feel like his mentality is really strong going into yung tournaments natin, and I feel like one loss would definitely, not affect them dito. If anything nga, parang nakatulong pa nga dito yung talo nila dito sa Matches para sa kanila. It kind of humbled them a bit and actually gave them a new perspective, no, na any single player, any single team na kakalaban nila from this point forward can definitely beat them, whether it is Acceptance, Matches, atras, anyone na nasa gitna ng ating mid-table, no, or quote-unquote mid-table kasi second ngayon yung Acceptance. So, ayun nga, it kind of was a bit of a fire burning para nga dito kay Folex to kind of prove, especially like there was a lot of doubters para sa kanya going into yung series na yun. But still, he kind of fragged out.
Yep. still fragging out until now. And I guess you can definitely say that just by basing from how he's been able to behave so far, no? Kung gaano rin ka heartfelt lahat ng mga sinasagot niya sa atin, no? Talagang nakapokus siya sa goal, and that is a certainty. Pero ngayon naman kay Team Acceptance tayo mag-focus because they're riding high on the momentum. Let it ride nga naman talaga, El.
Exactly. No? I feel like for Acceptance, ang pinpoint player natin dito no, would be Heck. Other than the riflers, si Heck talaga yung nag-activate ng buong team na to. You're the IGL, you're the sniper, you just have to take care of your riflers no, when they entry. And dun sa Fervid match natin, that's exactly what happened. He let them activate. Ngayon, kung makukuha ng Acceptance yung momentum from that Fervid match at hindi sila masya-shutdown against another big name dito sa ating liga, it would bring me confidence na itong impact team natin, take that out. This is a Masters team that will stay on this level. If Heck at the top of the rankings natin, he's usually at the top 10, no? Top 1 siya sa PRS and sa plus-minus rating natin. I believe he's going to be a key factor in all of these matches nila na natitira kasi if without him, his riflers would not work, no?
Exactly. And I feel like this puts a lot more pressure for both of our snipers, YouTube and as well as Heka, due to all of the things that is happening right now. And their future lies between these two as well. And I think preparado na ang lahat. This is again a chance for either of these teams to cement themselves papunta sa ating playoffs, and it's time na ilapag na natin ito sa ating mga casters, Sneaky Frog and as well as El, rakrakan na.
Salamat na salamat, Mochi. No? Unang pandangal na naman ang kampon ng pagtanggap at sa kalaban nilang mga bungo. Makikita natin kung ang kanilang panalo kahapon ay sintomas lamang ng pagpapanggap. El at Sneaky Frog nga pala for your first match, Sneaky, no? Sinabi ko na sa aking intro na I am still a bit doubtful about this Acceptance team's win against Fervid. Pero if they get a map or at least the win dito no from Execration, it just solidifies their position dito sa top 4 natin, hindi lang top 6.
Yeah, especially knowing na walang sub-base dito sa map pool natin, no? And it can kind of remove yung narrative na meron tayo dito sa ating Acceptance team that, you know, they're kind of are, you know, just a sub-base team and just an Eagle Eye team at the same time. And ayun nga, no, if we can kind of see the exact same performance man galing kay Ajax especially na who was also rocking that secondary sniper na napapanis na ngayon mga main snipers dito ng Fervid, and then ayun nga, no, Yotib will have a hell of a job trying and take out both of them, no, kasi hindi naman madalas nagre-run itong Execration natin ng double sniper setup natin. So yeah, it would be a big responsibility, especially going into yung map number 1 natin, no, dito, and we are going into port with GR start para dito sa ating Acceptance. So ayun nga, BL side obviously has had a few good BLs dito sa ibang mga teams natin, but I think according to the statistics ng ating Execration, they have not played the map of port. So we have no idea kung anong itsura ng BL side nila, pare. Malay mo, they took inspiration from some other teams.
Yeah, no. And in port, it's usually Heck and Silent yung nag-active sa Acceptance, but we have to be silent for now and listen to the comms ng both teams natin.
Ako parkour. Naisi.
Open na yung Libya.
Katanaw ka na. Mid baba ba?
Smoke na bodyguard. Tapi isa. Flash na. Exit.
Patay. Tribito
C4.
Diyan na yun, team.
Ang bilis.
Damn.
Pero at this point, no, parang we kind of know what's going to happen. Sneaky Day prep dito na Execrations toward LA. Kontrolado nila yung CA. It's about time para kay Heck.
Ooh, yun nga, Yotib with a nice shot as well para matrade dito si Heck. CPN coming in, Silent is already down. 3 versus 2, immediate A-side take para dito sa Execration. Wala pa silang top A na player dito na pwede mag-confirm na C4, but they finally put it down. Good position para kay Yotib, and he just flicks onto Ting. And si Ajax na lang natitira. This is what we expected, no, dito, that secondary sniper. But unfortunately, I think walang angle na realistic na makuha dun si Ajax, no. Hindi niya nakuha yung bridge, hindi niya nakuha yung A-sign in time. And I feel like this is probably a done deal from his position. Justin nakabungad na lang dito sa smoke, waiting for it to disappear. Left, right, or center ba tayo dito, pare? Yotib with the peek, Ajax, quick scope, no scope, USP will be shooting, pero nawalan na siya ng bala dito, pare. That will be Ajax going down. Execration, gandang massive sa A, pare.
Exactly, no? I feel like this double sniper setup na na-mention natin para sa side ng Acceptance, it's not gonna work against a setup play by Execration na hindi man lang nakita ng contact whatsoever. Same situation tayo dito, Sneaky. They're still going to take CA, and I'm thinking of a certain team that usually takes CA, no? That might be the inspiration dito ng Execration, and they will take the fight instead.
Grabe naman yun. Good spot through the smoke as well, no? Galing dito kay Paul, and that is gonna clear that possibility na baka umilalim dito si Tingmen and try to see if he can gain 1 or 2 or 3 players dito sa CA. Pero Execration, man, I really like what I'm seeing dito, El, no? Early CA takes para may pan-setup sila na A.
Exactly. And even if the resistance dito from Acceptance is good, they can't really fight back with those trades.
Whoa, what's going on? NBA, bigla na lang napasok dito sa curve. And Yotib will be getting Silent getting Fall X in return, but does it even matter dito, El? Heck na lang natitira. Granted, it's been clutch for him for the past few times, pero napakaganda ng angle, and it's not even an attempt. Yotib, pinik na lang paloob ng spawn.
And yun na nga, instantly the timeout. Ang bilis ng Acceptance, no? Realizing na hindi gagana yung default nila. Maybe it's the double sniper dito. That's not really working, Sneaky. But leaning to the side naman ng Execration, the setup's just perfect. Kilala natin yung mga riflers dito na Execration to be very, very undeniable in their 50-50s. To the point na yung headshot per kill nila or yung headshot rating nila dito is very, very high. Talking about CBN, talking about Folex, no? Nasa top 5 yan, ng top 5 ng liga. So, napakahirap na kalabanin tong Execration when they're trying to set up dito sa mid because they're willing to take the fights. Hindi sila katulad ng Virtus Pro na they want to burn the time just to get the execute or just to get the setup. Execration, willing kami makipaglaban habang kinukuha namin yung setup, and that is what Acceptance is having a hard time. Hindi nila ma-counter yung ginagawa, kaya maybe this timeout is a solution, no? A hot fix para dito sa ginagawa na Execration.
For sure. Pero Execration, no? So far, parang pakiramdam ko nagulat yata dito yung Acceptance na dalawang A setup tinapon agad sa kanila dito, no, El? And yun nga, feels like heck, he needs a bit more winter melon in his veins pare kasi mukhang kulang yung ininom niya kanina, men. And para sa Team Acceptance, ayun nga, no, I feel like they have an entirely new problem now. Ine-expect siguro nila LA take straight up. LB take straight up. Hindi nila ine-expect na early fight sa mid. Bubugin namin kung sino yung naandun and kukunin namin yung CA. So, I feel like the adjustment here para sa Acceptance, at least maybe Heck is telling his team na we might need a bit more mid-presence. Baka may sniper na dito sa A sign or sa B sign to try and see if they can catch the first guy swinging, no? Kaso, Exe kasi. Pag ganyan kasing moment, no, mag-aantay muna sila sa base ng konti.
Exactly. Feel ko para kay Heck, hindi niya kailangan ng winter melon eh. Sneaky. I feel like he needs matcha. He needs that green, no? And when you mean green, you mean the win, no? For the rounds. I feel like also, just to add to the point of solutions dito para sa Acceptance, they need to be willing to commit more utility sa mid, no? You can easily deny itong LA with the sniper ni Heck, no? Just let him hold yung top A natin, challenge even maybe Yotib, and let that 50-50 ride on through. Pero yung mid, you need to be investing the HEs pare. You need to invest the flash, the smokes. Nakita naman natin na meron pero I feel like it hasn't been used earlier than I expected, no? So I want these belts to be empty para sa Acceptance if they want to deny Execration. But at least if they don't get a kill with the utility, they get chip damage and a ton of it at that, no? So the setup for Acceptance right now would be using Dre dito sa CA, no? Nakatao na siya, nandun na siya sa taas, and any semblance of attempts para sa Execration would be cancelled immediately pag may natanim sa CA for Execration, no? Knowing that that might be what the timeout is for, is leaning towards B. Yung safer natin, di po maalis ng respawn, so Execration might just be scouting out the area, checking what was the difference from last round and this round, and so far, I feel like they already know what it is, no?
Yun nga, man. Already, no? Silent, ang ganda ng adjustment na yan. You gotta put the most veteran player, no, in that position, knowing how many wall banks you can pull off dito sa mid. But that also gives a clue dito sa Exe na, okay, masyadong confident si Silent na nag-wall bang ng mid. That means there is a possibility that there is a player helping him. Pero Justin, hinarap na lang dito si Silent. But look at the B-site. Looking wide open for now. NBA spotting yung player na nasa ilalim. Pero meron pa pala na nasa taas. Heck, getting absolutely pushed. Pero Ting, traded out. Fall X down. But he goes down as well. Ajax, Dre, the last two left alive. This is gonna take a Herculean effort para makabalik sa side. Double flash, double nade, doesn't matter. Justin still hitting both. And with 30 seconds left, man, Dre is kinda on the outside looking in, pare.
And he's not even trying to knock on the imaginary door dito ng ating B-site, Sneaky. Nothing left to do. Ito, Execration, they're one of the teams sa ating liga na consistently is willing to take that 5v5 execute. And if you give them the man advantage early on in their setup, that 5v5 execute just is going to be easier and easier for them, no? From a 60% win rate to a 70% win rate, almost. Pero dead round muna tayo dito, mga kaibigan. We're going to have to take a chill pill. Well, not us really, I mean for acceptance, because this could be a small blessing in disguise, Sneaky, knowing na yung effort dito ng Execration is just undeniably easy. They don't even have to lift a finger. It's like the setup just comes to them. And acceptance, fights, and everything else, no? It's not in their favor.
Yeah. And I like this galing daw sa Execration, El. Off the rip dito sa BL side. Di pa tayo nag-antay ng slow build-up galing sa kanila, pare, na nakuha na natin instantly yung Execration that we were expecting dito sa BL side ng ating port. And yun nga, no, so far, Execration, yun nga, creative ways and creative reads as well, no, para sa kanila, pare, na yun nga, no, dahil nga masyadong aggressive dito si Silent sa may bottom bridge natin. Meron ang rhyme and reason, no. Siguro nag-iisip din sila, ano, medyo mainit dito si Silent sa baba ng BR natin. For sure, may kasama to either sa CA or naandito sa BR. And I feel like tama din yung timing doon ni Justin kasi he was actually first clearing yung big box on the left side na I'm surprised Silent didn't even try to wallbang, no? And he was looking at CA the entire time. And naantay na mag-forward dito si Dre, pare. But he did find that very nice timing dito kay Silent. And you can just see the B side collapse in an instant, no? Kasi wala na yung curve player nila. Wala na silang rotational player.
Exactly.
At most, the help you're gonna get, pare, is Dre. And if he can even pull off yung reverse ninja papalik nga ng BR, but even then, no, masyado na malaki yung pour dito sa B-site, man. And I feel like ang ganda ng kalat ng Execration dito sa mapa na to. And it just seems like acceptance, they don't know who to target first, no? Dito sa mapa natin.
Exactly. We've seen in 3 rounds, no, the active approach dito sa acceptance natin. Tinatry nila labanan, although not the best fight na nakita natin. At tinatry nila i-passive, no, the usual acceptance way dito sa GR side ng port. Both of those did not work, no? Walang gumana whatsoever. Ending, Execration just got an easier execute dito sa B-site natin. And if this continues for Execration, no, this port pick is going to be a hell of a pick. Kasi alam natin, acceptance, they like to play this map. And looking at the veto, no, iniisip ko kanina, like, why would the Execration pick port, right? Like, sure, they're good at it, but how good are they against an acceptance na sabihin natin nakakaroon na ng tournament experience dito sa Masters with their playstyle? Turns out, they're even better, no? And yung inaakala ko Eagle Eye lang yung saving grace dito ng Execration because they're currently undefeated in that map in 4 sets, no? Hindi pala. Port and Eagle Eye, yung Ankara medyo delikado pa. So, feel like for Execration, if they get this one easy, Ankara should be the only technical problem na makita natin for the side of acceptance.
Yun nga, man. I feel like Ankara is kind of taken over as that role na meron dito yung Black Widow dati, no, as being the ultimate equalizer para dito sa liga natin. I feel like Eagle Eye is definitely ball knowledge difference, no? Alam pa din nga natin masabi dito. Kung sino yung mas maalam pagdating dito sa Eagle Eye, you will most likely win dito sa ating mapa. But yun, no, so far Port has been serving them very well. Naaalala ko pa, when was the last time Execration played Port? Kasi the last time that they played Port in my memory, I mean, Ram was still there, yun nga, si Boss Teng was still on the team. So, ayun nga, it has been quite a while, no, ever since nakita natin tong Execration na, yun nga, dumapo dito sa Port. And I feel like it does make sense kasi God, I'm gonna flame ZYK again, but he deserves it. Not gonna lie, man, yung mga A-holds na nakita natin from him is not really that impressive. And I feel like it's best to avoid the map where, a requirement, yung isa sa mga requirements dito is to kind of carry on the sniper, no? And exactly. I feel like Yotib, he's kind of filling that role right now para sa Exe. So I would say, it's back in the pool. It's back in the role, pare.
Hindi lang pala supplement dito si Yotib sa firepower ng Execration, no? He's additional sustenance para sa map pool ng Execration, expanding it even, no? Seeing this port pick right now and working in their favor sa BL side. I'm more excited to see ngayon yung kanilang GR. Pero si Heck, no? GR side sniper, trying to challenge dito sa may story natin. Polex medyo nakakakutob. So he's gonna try to take a possible timing. Pero we see again, no? Execration's preparation para sa mid-take nila, using that HE to clear out yung bukana ng CA. Hex still trying to find the pick. Timing talaga dito ng Silip siya ng wide swing ng dalawang players natin, but Heck is good for one.
Nice too.
Does that the trigger dito? Ang Execration to go? Not quite yet, Sneaky. They're winding down the situation and thinking, kung nandyan si Heck, sino yung nasa CA, sino yung nasa top A, at pwede ba tayong bumalik doon?
I think they were hoping to punish at least one of the LB players dito, no? L, na gusto mag-swing. Especially itong si Heck. He's been kinda known to go A, B, and C. And pakaramdam ko nakuha nila yung pattern. Pero hindi ganun kapaldo yung nakita nila pare, unfortunately. And, ayun nga, Execration went down losing one of their members in this one. It had to be si CBN pa pare. Not good news for them. Tank pa si Yotib. So someone has to do some heavy work dito sa mapa natin. B-site, looking likely. It is actually a B-split. Nakadaan na dito si Paul. Papuntang curve pero ine-expect yan ni Heck. 2 steps ahead dito sa loob ng site. Yotib nakita na si Ting. And NBA will be getting Heck all of a sudden. B-site na full clear na dito. Pero ang problema, Justin, on the LB side, he's the one defending against Ajax. Yotib getting silent. HC will be getting NBA. Pero si Yotib still on the site. Flashbang. Not blinded, doesn't matter. 2 players on the side. Justin with the flank! Dre spotted sa loob. Flashed, diffuse, incoming. He's going for the full def at walang oras si Justin para lumapit. And Dre, buti na lang na andun siya pare. That almost broke apart para sa acceptance.
Parehas, no? Si Justice Shock, si Dre, they had the same idea for both teams. It just so happened na mas accessible yung kay Dre, yung bomba. So, Acceptance getting their cheeky round with not really a ninja defuse, no? Runaway defuse, if you will, dito, Sneaky. So, Execration, they have to get back the round, and the round is going to be taken back with this curve push.
Ooh, good spray galing dito kay Justin. CBN will be getting Ting as well. Ajax and Dre, the last two left alive. Curve and Spawn is gonna be the way to go para sa kanila dito, pare. Yotib, he has been pretty good with the clutch snipes. And hindi na siya low HP from the prior fights na nakita nga natin kanina. So, it will be the double lurk papunta dito ng HP para sa Acceptance. They have turned the map around. Problema nga lang, Yotib speaking in and he instantly gets Dre. And Ajax na lang natitira. 1 HP and a dream. Unless maka-double headshot sa USB, pare, I do not think it's a possibility.
Nah.
Unless...
What can you do here, Ajax? Unless, yan na. He's just gonna spam through the... Kahoy lang yan, boss. Madali lang yan na ma-wall ba. Execration still, no? Alam nila, nakakaw lang yung round dito ng Acceptance. They're gonna go ram themselves up again dito sa site B natin. At dire-diretso lang yung momentum nila, no? As much as tinatry dito ni Silent na i-wall bang yung mid, onti lang yung damage na napulot niya. May damage din sa kanya, pero yun na nga, no? Sneaky. CA take ulit dito para kay Justin. Iiwan nila siya. Yung mga miyembro ng Execration, nakatao pa rin dito sa may LA door. Careful with how they try to approach these next rounds kasi alam natin, nabasa na sila ng Acceptance, no? It's a matter of variations na dito, Sneaky. And I feel like the variation is to not vary anything with the CA take and split.
Uy, pero Dre. Uy, nakita yung dulo ng barrel mo, Justin! Oh my goodness me, size does matter sometimes dito para Peta 4 push in towards mid, fall X, dadaan dito sa Ninja. Pero tatlo lang pala to pare. Kaya ba nilang pumasok man? They're having a hard time just even trying to get out of bridge. Ting, Dre getting 2. Yotib and CBN getting 2 as well. 3 versus 2 ang ating labanan. Low na dito si Silent. CBN needs to confirm at least one player. Dito ng Acceptance, Execration. I think papasa na lang siguro yung C4 dito kay Yotib, but you really want to keep his hands as active as possible dito sa mapa natin. So it will only be CBN planting the C4 smoke para kay Ting, providing a bit of cover para sa long players natin. Heck will try to see if he can pick off yung mga distracted players. Pero yun si Yotib, min, nakatutok na agad dito sa kanyang paboritong angle. On the top A side, Silent spotting him. Double peek, Yotib. Missing the shot so far. Si Heck natamaan! Silent! Nakadaan na LA, CBN, spotting Ting. Ting gets one tap despite getting sprayed down! And Yotib bumaba na lang dito sa loob ng site and Silent does not know where to look. What a 2 versus 3. Galing sa Exe, pare. Holy.
Hindi kailangan na malinis, no? Basta Makati yung gumagawa ng trabaho, okay na okay. Execration still finding that win in a man disadvantage. Ajax, the man on top A naman ngayong round. And I feel like he chose the wrong spot for this one, Sneaky, but he's gonna get one.
Uy, Justin daw nakadaan dito ng bridge and CBN will be getting Ajax. Di patapos sa labanan dito sa A. Silent buhay na buhay pa up until his death. Did get some good damage in dito kay Justin, but Folex, CBN still on full HP. Ting spotted na sa bodega and he just gets wall banged out. The EBRs doing a bit too much damage dito sa mga boxes natin. Heck, the only one left alive. CBN peeking in, Folex peeking at the same time. Miss galing kay Heck. And that's a done deal, pare. 6-1 para sa Execration. They are taking over dito sa port.
I feel like hindi rin masolusyonan to ni Heck, no? Sinabi ko kanina, sa kanya nagre-revolve yung mga riflers niya, pero if your riflers don't have any support whatsoever from the sniper, no, parang malabo. And situation as it is currently, Execration, parang jazz band sila ngayon, no? Biglang bibilis, biglang babagal, biglang magiging weird yung tempo nila. Pero at the end of it, it's very fantastic to watch, no? It's really good to see an Execration na kayang idaan sa brusco, kayang idaan sa linis yung mga execute nila, no? Siya yung mga setup. And that acceptance, medyo nahihirapan sila on both ends of the spectrum ng ginagawa dito ng boys in black and blue. Pero you gotta try to at least fight back. Not this passive play na nakikita ko ngayon, Sneaky, sa GR side natin. 2-3, sure. Pero pag nilima kayo kaagad dyan na split, what's gonna happen to you guys, no?
Parang napunta tayo sa pare, sa breakbeat. Napunta tayo bigla sa Bossa Nova. Legends ang nakakaalam. Pero, A-side looking a bit prime and ready, no? For a take. Walang nakabantay dito sa A or sa B side up until Silent has arrived. Napaka-importante na ma-hold na to, pare. Just this position. Curve, gonna be a bit in danger as well. Fall X and MVA nakadaan na nga pero di sila dumaan kay Silent. Instead, they all went upstairs but Silent is fully well aware kung ano nangyayari dito. Trade is gonna be there para kay Fall X.
Cover.
Left side's not gonna be safe. Trey with really good cover so far. Naandito pala sa top A kasama si Ajax. Ajax getting Yotib. Justin will be the last one left alive and thanks to Dre, the insurance ni Ajax na hold din na tong top A.
Call that the sniper's nest dito, no, sa top A. Pero hindi lang sniper yung nakatao, pati rifler din pala. Tatlo sila nandun. Imagine that. Execration must have been surprised, pero they're gonna try a surprise of their own.
Yun lang, the B-hop in towards LB and Heck not expecting the second jumper. At meron pang dalawa na nasa loob ng B-site at napaka-aware na ni Ting na pwedeng meron nang naka-occupy dito sa HP. So he starts wallbanging.
CBN?
Itong wooden panel natin, pare. CBN TRG.
He's holding the flag.
Maybe he's learned a thing or two galing dito kaya kanyang baby loves pare with the sniper as she is really good with it. Pero instantly tinapon niya na he's like, nope. Babalik ako sa ABR. And especially knowing where Ting is standing pare, kailangan yan.
Exactly. No. So without Heck na naman dito sa rounds natin for acceptance, I'm feeling dito na medyo nawawala yung mga players natin on the GR side. Tingnan mo kung gaano siya kakalat. 1v1 to Siki all around. Sure, yung top A merong trade, pero itong laban na to, wala.
Yun lang. And Justin is spotted as well dahil nakaposisyon dito si Ajax for the BR side. Ting getting the spray down through the HP wooden panels, pero papasok pa sila dito sa site. Justin, getting Ting eventually, pero namatay din ang kanyang kakampi na si Yote, pero hindi niya napansin si Silent na nakatago sa generator, pare. 6-3. Acceptance, at least get 3 in the first half, pero it kinda feels like, you know, pag binaliktad mo, pare, parang may mali. Parang may mali. I think it was supposed to be Acceptance getting 6, pero wala, may lakas na offense eh.
Hindi pa natin na-factor, Sneaky, siguro yung fact na this is the first time na naglabas yung Execration ng port, right? So you don't know their tricks. And for Acceptance, alam mo lahat ng ginagawa nila. You know that Heck is going to peek dito sa house B natin. You know, sometimes si Ajax nag-sniper sa top A, minsan nangangalak yung angle na yan. Tatlo pala sila bigla. It's the whole party dito for Acceptance, no? And they know your moves. Kung saan ka magdi-dribble, left or right, what's your weaker side, no? Saan kailangan bumantay nitong Execration para makuha nila yung picks. And so far, it's been working, no? The surprise factor by Execration is in full effect. But this time, no, that surprise factor make it squared. Because they're going to be the GR side and gugula siguro to Acceptance, no? Bakit nandyan sila sa mga angle na yan? Pero I'm not going to lean into the surprise, Nikki. I know that this Execration team, they took their port from one of the teams, either here, either from overseas, maybe baka nga galing pang Brazil, di ba? CrossFIRE Brazil also sometimes has a good port, pero you know this team, no? Full of surprises this season, and this GR side is surely one to deliver. Acceptance, can they hold on? Yun yung tanong ko. Kaya naman, pero remember, they like to play passive. And I don't feel like that rock playstyle will go up against the paper that is Execration, no?
Yun nga, men, That's kind of the issue. I feel like the approach is fully wrong para dito sa Acceptance. I would have wanted to see yung nakita, yung ginagawa nila dito sa sub-base, no, El, which is, kind of poking and prodding from time to time. I would have wanted to see itong si Silent to be a bit more enabled dito sa mapa natin, especially on the GR side. Maybe a cheeky push papuntang baba ng PR na kalaban nila. Pero, ayun nga, we go into the half and we go into the comms.
Ano?
Ninja,
Ninja! Mid!
Ninja na, budega na.
Take it on him.
Guard, basta! Pisa guard!
Umabot.
Dire-diretso lang sila, Sneaky. Nakakagulat naman to
Grabe.
entrada.
Grabe naman yan. NBA has a whole lot of killing to do dito sa mapa natin. Ajax spotted sa curve. Silent down. NBA could get the second one, pero Ajax with a quick trading, getting top A player, pero meron pang Folex from the behind and Justin from the curve side. Tamang check pa kay Ajax. Ajax is gonna go down. Low pa naman dito si Ting. HE sa mukha ni Folex. Ting is down to 1, but he has to look on the behind. Saktong ikot galing kay Folex. Good game sense galing sa kanya, men. And he just melts itong si Dre. Heck, the other one in the B site, smoke grenade. Nanaan dito, Folex causing a miss. Dito kay Heck, USP, not gonna be enough, and headshot galing kay Paul. Hindi siya tumitigil dito, pare. Si Ting brought a knife to a gunfight, pare. Talong-talo ka talaga doon, men. And Execration will get the first round in the second half.
Execration yung nagulat dun sa round na yun, pero parang naglabas ng reverse card dito. Yung team natin from the GR side, and they're continuing to do it dito sa mid. Sila nawa yung nagpa-poke and prod, Sneaky.
Yun lang, Ajax, nagkamali ka ng push. You ran into the trap card, pare, at nag-activate itong si NBA.
He's going.
Pero tuloy-tuloy lang. Paul, may nasa likod mo, par. Will you know about it? He does! He does! Grabe ka na, Folex! Pag hindi mo siya na-headshot, par, may chance ka pa mamatay.
Paul,
You
nice 2 shots. Grabe! That's 2 rounds in a row. Ref, he can't do that. He's doing it sideways. And ngayon, Acceptance, tulala. Natulala dito sa kanilang default. They tried going aggressive, pero pag ginanong ka lang ni Paul, he just snapped his finger right back at you. Mawawala talaga momentum mo. Pero they're still gonna try. Dre is still in house to be dito, no, Sneaky. Dalawa yung nasa mid. Maybe a cheeky push towards curve, pero covered lahat dito ng boxes. By Execration, and they're expecting it.
Uy, CBN. Di ko alam kung spotted si CBN, but there is gonna be a death cause dito kay MVA. B-side is looking prime and ready, pero tignan mo nasan yung C4 dito sa L. And medyo delix, man. Especially knowing that Folex is standing right here dito sa may Jenny natin. Ayun nga. Folex, even you're right behind him, pare. Apparently you are not safe from this position, Dre. Immediately spots who is gonna peek into him, and Folex relentless ang kanyang aggression. Ayaw pa alisin dito si Dre.
Ayun lang.
And siya pa ay mabibiktima, pare. Men, tumigil kasi siya, pare. I think kung diniretso na yan, low-key, I think he would have gotten that kill, but at the same time, Heck would have scoped into his dome. Pero yung B-side natin, is it wide open? Justin na nasa Godbox, instantly dropping down. Good job on him to kinda keep yung control dito ng bottom ng B-side para maka-retake pa ang mga Execration players. But Ting, massive damage onto 2. Yotib na pa EBR na rin, spray down. Kung nasan si Ting, good control! Galing sa kanya, pare. And magpupos sila sa side. And Justin saving it. Dre, naka-double spray na siya, pare. Pero buti na lang, Justin. Nag-bait siya ng onti, min. Pero worth it.
All is well that ends well, Sneaky. For Execration, tuloy-tuloy lang sila. Pero Acceptance, di magpapatigil. Yotib busy the shot, pero he's gonna get wallbanged. 5v4 right now for Acceptance. Let's see if they can convert Pero hold up, wait a minute, they just calm down. Redirection tayo towards that trap that is being set up, no? Exactly. Nakuha nila yung kalat, new spread around the map. Pero Execration, they know when to capitalize their moves, and if they go towards the wrong area here, Acceptance, baka kayo pa yung ma-reverse.
Yun nga, would be nice if Paul can get into position, no, para makita niya yung kung sino man nasa loob ng CA, knowing he's gonna be safe thanks to CBN. Pero si Ajax kasi napaka-careful sa ganitong sitwasyon. I think well aware na rin sila na, you know, they have left alone A site for this entire time. And yun nga, Ajax actually baiting in some of the players here. And mapapabalik si Ajax dito. Does he know that there's someone peeking? And it seems like he catches him off guard instead. CBN, a bit desperate for the trade. Makukuha na dito si Ajax, Heck, Trey, and the rest of the boys is backing off. Pabalik ng B-side, pero tignan mo naman kung sino yung nasa mid. NBA sumobra na. And the one time that Acceptance goes passive, they are getting rewarded for it. Silent spotted still. Justin with the sniper. Good shot dito kay Trey. All of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 2. Tagged up dito si Ting through the box, pero buti na lang may EBR siya dun pare to finish this one off. Pero yung problema dito, tignan mo kung sino natira para dito sa Execration. It's a full HPCBN. But I also have a one-shot, sabi dito ni Heck. Tatama lang yan sa chest at patay ka na. 4 and 8. Acceptance kumakapit pa pare.
Tama lang, no? Yung kapit nila dito, very, very good on that grip because they tried to go for the aggressive play dito sa may side B natin. They got a pick. Pero I feel like Execration, they try to chew off, to bite more than they can chew, no? So they're trying to fight this LA, getting to
Yun lang.
pangit for Execration.
Pangit. Ayun nga, man. I think it was one of those attempts to get a curveball going, no, dito, na, you know, maybe just to throw it in. Knowing na 4 points in the lead tayo, pare, mali mo bagulat natin kung sino man na nakatayo dito sa bridge, but, yun nga, Acceptance is now starting to play a bit more careful dito sa mapa natin, man.
Yeah, the thing is, you can't do that to Acceptance because they're gonna expect that every round. Kahit mag-passive ka as GR, they're still gonna expect that you're pushing, no? Naka-mindset na yan. It's protocoled in their system. So, Execration siguro they tried another wildcard play, if we may call it that, pero hindi gumana, no? So, si Justin, well,
Buena sala doon.
pangit din nung ginawa niyang wildcard play. So, a bit of a few tricks dito being pulled out of the hat by Execration, not working out. The 2v5 is still possible. Yotib and MVA, we know they're good for it, pero Acceptance, you have a 3-man advantage. You surely don't throw this away, and you just surely execute towards the site A dahil lamang na kayo.
Oh, Jesus. Ajax just got melted dito sa LA, pare. MVA on the bridge side. Ting has already made his cross onto the site, pero MVA kita dito sa bodega, still getting one. Pero posible pa to para kay Yote ba? If he can kinda get a bit of a tag dito kay Heck, at yan ang sinasabi ko pare. Oh, but the spray down, unang tumama sa chest. I think his crosshair was just a bit too low. And Acceptance. Okay, men. Survival of the fittest dito pare. And mukhang parang G sila dun, men.
Hindi na sila, no? Look at that. Heck was just waiting for the push. He kind of anticipated it pa nga, no? Usually, pag si Heck, he starts towards A on the BL side, he's expecting a push. Kasi yung standard default ni Heck dito, mga kaibigan nating nanonood, he's usually gonna peek mid, he's usually gonna peek house B, no? When he peeks LA, he kind of expects a push. And he was right all along, no? He's expecting another one. Tingnan mo naman yung position ni CBN. I think he's kind of like waiting for a flash in case na gusto nilang i-clear yung LA, or maybe just holding itong CA natin from a weird off angle, no? So, Execution this time around, holding it a bit closer to the edges of the site, making sure na kung ito Acceptance mag-i-snowball, well, we stop them at the gate. Pero Acceptance, knowing that adjustments are coming in, the snowball, well, it's rolling very slow. Pero if this pulls off, no, Acceptance getting this round, no, of whatever situation they put themselves in, maybe this LA push, we see ourselves a game.
Yun nga, Yotib gonna be his first challenge with the top 8.
Aray!
Instant tinakaltukan sa dito pare. Here comes the nades. And he's gonna die instantly. Pero babalik lang dito yung Acceptance. Really good idea to kind of bait out kung ano mang mangyayari dito sa A. So I do expect some sort of a re-hit, no? Especially knowing na sobrang invested na nga sila dito sa A side. But at the same time, it wouldn't hurt to investigate, no? Kung may tao dito sa court, kung may tao dito sa LB, maybe get an additional route na papunta nga dito sa A side. But taking CA at this point would be overzealous pare kasi Ayun nga, no, Justin is still kind of just poking around. Pero heck, punishing the transition into Z. Pero CBN having to act up dito sa mapa natin. Wanting to go forward, wanting to make the play. First set shot, second, almost the third para kay CBN. Pero NBA, di sumala yung kanya sniper. Pumalit dito sa ABR. For sure, tatama yan. 2 versus 2. C4 is dropped dito sa LA. Heck, papunta na nga dito sa A side. Fall X from the exit. He's not hitting. He is not hitting. HE, palipad, papunta kay Heck. And Dre will be confirming him. Acceptance. Parang nakita natin to kahapon, Noel, with Acceptance on the less favorable side, pare, pero yung puso lang talaga, men.
Lala nang nangyari dito kay Justin. I feel like that took the round away dito sa Execration. Justin, do not fight the hand that can pull the trigger on the TRG, pare. One of the greatest quotes of all time. Heck, knowing na usually siya talaga nagpo-provide dito ng kills in the BL side, even if it's a bit slower than in the other maps kasi he can't really activate his riflers sa LA, sa House B because of the traps and the sniper position. You're going to have to rely on him more, and well, we're going to have to do that in a very, very slow and passive manner. For that round, and the couple rounds previous na nakuha dito ng Acceptance, they're mixing it up, sneaky, no? Talagang medyo maganda yung kanilang poking. The prodding, not as much, pero that's where they are strong, no? When they just sit still and wait for any aggressive actions. Sure, makakuha si CBN dito sa LA ng dalawa, pero the man advantage just speaks for itself. And as much as Fall, we know that he's good for the clutches. I think the highest clutch rate ata siya ngayon with his performances in the weeks natin. Still, he's prone to mistakes, no? It's a clutch after all, no? You can't win them every time. But if you do, congrats, no? Ngayon, Acceptance, taking CA, but no LA presence. So maybe it's just a direct mid push. Lalo na kung ganyan yung oras.
Pero NBA. Kalagpas si Silent. Pero yun lang, si Ajax pa rin nakalagpas dito. But Silent is the one who's gonna die. Ajax trying to use the lurk timing na nakita niya kanina. Nakapasok siya ng Z. Walang tao na nasa loob.
Tumagos
Pero
na.
makikita ba ni Ajax na may tao na dito? NBA gets timing doon. At makuha pa dito si Folex. He's out in the open for CBN! Nakabawi ng dalawa dito. Heck! On the bottom side is gonna have to retreat. That's a losing fight para sa kanya, pare, if he goes up against Justin. And he's gonna have to reroute all the way back into B. Pero yung A side pwede rin maging bukas dito. Yotib spotting it but not really. And I don't think nakita niya nang dumaan na dito ng top A. Etong si Dre. At tignan mo, men. Certain someone holding the rotation. Heck. Where ba dito si Yotib na nangyayari to? I mean, I don't think he knows. Pero heck, siya na lang sa sala dito sa long. Really good angle para sa kanya dito sa tower. And a really good smoke actually to block off yung LOS dito ni Heck. Papuntang long. That's a good two-man swing. 18 seconds. A USP could kill both here. Justin with the defuse.
Inexpect.
But it's actually a fake! And inexpect nila dito, men. Ang ganda ng smoke to ni Yotib, no? Nakarangan dun si Heck, pare.
Hindi niya alam tuloy kung saan siya aangat. Kung doon siya sa hagdan, sa ladder umakyat, medyo alanganin. He's going to be straight in the crosshairs of our rifler. If he went around, that was his only possible move, no? Pero siguro, with the experience ni Justin, he's going to fake that defuse, pare. And he's going to look exactly where Heck is supposed to be. And yun na nga yung nangyayari, no? Ang ganda ng smoke being utilized, and that was in the middle of the situation, no? So heads up play yan dito galing kay Justin. Good performance to take their 9th round, and might be the last legs as well of Acceptance, no? Let's see if you can poke and prod some more, or you're just gonna lie low and wait. Let's see if the turtle can win this race, Nikki. Another upfront and close setup by Execration na usually pag ganyan sila nilabanan, na nanalo sila, they can just force the fights whatsoever. Acceptance thinking if, is this what we want to do? Lalabanan ba namin? Kasi kanina may success dito, nakakatagos kami. Papunta ng A sign, B sign, pero hanggang dun lang no? Nahuhuli pa rin kami ng mga rotational players dito in Execration, so taking all of their time, thinking about where to go. But at the end of it, they're not taking their time, they're just wasting their time because Execration, no matter what you throw at them, they're looking prepared.
Oh, CBN already. Sinisimulan na nga dito yung round natin para Ting already gets his head taken off dito sa bridge. And with a minute left, not much time to decide para sa acceptance, and especially now, nawalan pa sila ng isang player dito. This one's not gonna be easy. Gonna take a bit of creativity from their side. B is gonna be the way to go. Para sa acceptance, have taken LB control. Di nag-check ng Z, and I think they will do in a bit, and that is gonna be the responsibility dito ni Dre. Now, to pick, is it gonna be a B split or straight up HB push na mangyayari dito para sa acceptance? It is looking like a straight up HB. Folex and Justin ready sa kanilang positions dito. Ajax on the side, but the tap's already out para dito kay Folex. Heads are rolling in the B side para kay Folex. And Trey getting the last kill, but Justin is right there for the insurance. Execration. You know, there was a bit of a comeback happening sa start, or rather sa start ng ating second half, but then it was quickly thwarted with some very good picks. Execration taking this one 1-0 pare.
Exactly, no. And I'm going to take back some statements na sinabi ko kanina, Sneaky. At first, sinabi ko na parang may ginagayahan sila ng port, no. A certain team, either here or there, pero the longer that our rounds went, parang napaisip ako, parang hindi eh. Parang hindi sila ganun maglaro. They're a bit more active. Hindi sila nagre-rely on those setup situations. Lalo na nung nag-GR side sila. And siguro yung activeness dito ng Execration, knowing na all 5 of them are trying to like mini IGL each and every one, like communicate all around. Siguro dun pumapasok yung activeness na nakita natin sa GR, and it costed them some rounds. Pero that BL side though, no, yun yung pinaka-importante because that is where you need that activeness and communication. Nakita natin kung gaano kaya effective yun. A bit of a fumble here and there, pero this is their first outing of court in a long while, no. So, congrats to them for winning it, and ang ganda ng vision na ginagawa nila dito sa mapang to because so far it's effective, not as clean as we would like it to be for a team of this caliber, pero I like it.
Yeah. And I have a feeling though, yung mga ibang rounds na nakita natin that Execration actually lost was kind of their fault, no? At their
Exactly.
at most pare, kasi yun nga, they lost a round kasi may nag-push ng LA dito, someone decided to go push into mid. I think Acceptance overall had you know, 2 very good macro rounds para sa kanila dito pare, especially yung potentially sana yung LA tas pabalik sila dito ng A side, that would have worked very heavily kasi ginawa na yun ng mga ibang teams dito. But I feel like Execration, they did study up pagdating sa mapa ng port, and I feel like they studied up yung tendencies dito, no, na Acceptance for the past few days, and they just kind of exposed it dito sa first half pa lang pare. It was a 6-1 start para dito sa map natin, and that was on Execration side. I mean, it was looking hopeless sa first half. Acceptance, you know, they did kind of make a comeback dito sa second half natin, but you can kind of feel it, you know, becoming a bit more lifeless nung medyo nagpapassive na rin dito yung Execration pare.
Medyo gumana yung poking dito na Acceptance na matter of fact, ine-expect natin na dapat lumabas galing sa kanila, no? Lumabas na nga, pero at the same time na ginagawa na Execration yung pagiging active nila sa GR side, experimental din yung ginagawa dito na Acceptance, no? A bit of growth, pero the growth being shown in a tournament setting, medyo mahirap yan i-troubleshoot, no? So I feel like as much as tinatry ni Heck i-collate and i-collaborate yung mga riflers niya, the first pick really needs to come out from him. Nakita natin, pero that was off of the mistakes dito ng Execration with their pushes, with their setups, and I feel like he was asking for more fruits from the tree of Execration, pero wala na eh. It's just the leaves na lang natitira dito. The olive branch not going to be extended by Execration, and I feel like that is what just happened dito sa ating port map. A bit of dangerous situations from them in terms of the comeback, pero wala talaga.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do about that, no? I mean, it's just absolute hindi naman absolute demolishing, pare. In the first half, it was. Second half, may onting effort naman from the side of Acceptance to get back into it. But unfortunately, the efforts were in vain. But of course, we are gonna expand a little bit more with our panel. Mochi and Salvi, take it away.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga casters, and I would like to double down din dito, no? Collaborative decision making in action para dito, no, for Execration. And as much as it took time for them to adjust and actually finalize everything heading onto our second half, maganda yung naging outcome nito, no, Salvatore. And quite unfortunate that Team Acceptance hasn't been able to resolve the case of paano nga ba makakakuha ng pick-off itong si Hype. Kasi wala, no? Ang hirap tapatan, makipagpunahan kay Utib at daanan nitong si Paul.
Another point to make, no, Mochi, akala ko talaga this season specifically na-crack na ng mga teams yung pinakamagandang code para ba secure nila yung BL side, eh, no? Kasi nung kumbinsin na ako ng onte ng Acceptance in the second half with the momentum that they have mula sa mga picks na ginagawa ni Ajax and as well as ni Silent, it was good enough space for them to take the sides. At parang napupuntirya naman nila tong top A na to the point na okay, they can make a very good run. Pero pag ang usapan naman is Acceptance trying to take mid control, nahihirapan talaga sila, no? Like nauunahan kagad sila ng Execration out of all the teams, which is very, very important na ma-establish kagad yon ng Acceptance. Kasi nga, they have a very good util game, pero tila dito sa loob ng port, hindi nga nila nagamit ng maayos, no? And to start off the game itself, nakita naman natin sa Execration, hindi sila nahirapan sa BL side. And they definitely used that para mapabuti nga ni Folex dito yung transition niya into second half. Kita mo nga naman, he made the clinic out of the map itself, hitting some insane headshots, and the numbers do speak highly, no, of Folex in that second half. Pero maalala talaga natin, no, was the presence of Yobib both first and as well as second. Napakaganda nga naman. It clearly says na Execration knows how to assign roles, eh, no? Hindi sila nagkakaroon ng identity crisis, and Execration right now, both BL and as well as GR, napakita nga nila na Acceptance has to do a lot of work para makuha nila yung port.
Exactly. And imbis na meron tayong simple layers na kailangan pagdaanan dito ni Acceptance in order to secure additional spaces and get manpower advantage, no, mas nadadagdagan yung mga kailangan nilang gawin just in order to fulfill a specific task, which made it a bit more harder for them na makapag-adjust at makakuha ng mga rounds dito, no, against Execration. At idagdag pa nga natin yung absolute game sense na meron din dito kay Paul all throughout. It is just insane and practically made us gasp dito, no, habang pinapanood natin yung kanilang laban. Pero again, Execration, they've done so well. Pero sino nga kaya ang ating set MVP? By who is it? Well, no one else but Yotib himself, no. Talagang pinakita niya na kanyang-kanya itong port, at kung pagalingan lang naman ng sniper, by Gina G rin siya dito, Salvatore.
And despite the huge contest para dito kay Heke, no, both first and second half, I feel like Yotib had like the more crucial kill. Siguro presence-wise, na itapat niya nga yung sarili niya to an idea na, okay, kahit lusubin siya ni Ajax at ni Silent, or even someone like Dre, hindi nga talaga siya matatakot, eh, no. Yotib with some amazing quick scopes, feeling ko yun yung in-overlook dito, no, ng Acceptance. Push nga sila ng push, there's always a threat ng snipers dito talaga sa loob ng port, and Execration used that as an advantage that Acceptance wants to take target ka naman talaga itong mga mid-angles natin, kasi wala naman dun palagi yung mga snipers. MVA and Justin were always there, and then it resulted for an overlooking element na nakalimutan dito na Acceptance. Well played for Execration. I'm looking forward to this set number 2 kasi marami tayo napulot sa Acceptance na baka pwede natin makita heading into that next map.
Well played indeed. And unfortunately, Team Acceptance, hindi nila nahanap dito yung early advantage sa ating serye, no, which would be a challenge for them further the moment na makaproceed tayo sa ating susunod na mapa. Kaya malalaman natin maya-maya, magkakaroon kaya ng bawi ang Team Acceptance, or will Execration finally cement this series for themselves? Malalaman natin yan pagkabalik ng ating break. Muling nagbabalik ang ating unang match for the day. It is still Execration versus Team Acceptance, na kung kanina lang nakita natin kung paano minama ng Execration ang Team Acceptance sa mapa ng port. Ngayon naman sila ay magtatapat sa Ankara. 75%, 50% in terms of win rate for both Acceptance and Execration. I feel like this just bears the advantage na dinadala ng team ng AT pagdating sa mapang ito, Salvatore.
Oh, Mochi, kinalimutan na natin yung usapang numero na yan, kasi parang feeling ko this particular season wala nang bearing yung mga stats na yan, kasi tinan mo ginagawa ng Execration laban sa Stallions at yung Fervid sa loob nga ng subbase, ang daming ang nangyayari. And yesterday is the best example actually, no, kung gaano nga ba kasolido ang subbase ng Fervid. Yun nga naman talaga ang binaba nga neto up against Acceptance. And if there's any team right now that then can show up sa loob nga ng Ankara, it's definitely Acceptance, no, from that performance kahapon ni Ajax. No? And speaking of Ajax, I feel like dito na magiging prominent yung double artic ng acceptance na pwede nga ikadurog siguro ng Execration. No? And they need to respect that. Knowing na magsisimula dito sa BL ang Execration, they need to tread carefully at kapain na nga muna nila yung mga matchups dito. But overall acceptance, I see and sense a very good first half from them.
Let us see. And I feel like yun na nga lang din yung magiging reminder natin dito for team acceptance, no? Mag-ingat muna tayo bago tayo lumapag at pumalag dito, no? Sa ating Angkara map. Well, I guess it is time, no? It's all up to them. So let's hand it over para sa ating mga casters, El and Sneaky Frog.
Maraming salamat yan, no, Mochi and Salvatore. At speaking of the stats, Salvatore, I feel like we need to be deep diving a bit. No? Sure, you can take away the map win rate, pero what I'm looking at is the round win rate. 48% for the side of Execration, 59 naman para sa acceptance. Ang gara, no, dito sa Angkara. Kasi medyo 50-50. Siguro sabihin natin yung magiging matchup knowing na itong acceptance na lahu lang yung Fervid sa mapang ito na nakalaban sila. And itong Execration, I feel like they had the tougher opponents here, no, Sneaky.
Oh, for sure. I feel like the stats are kind of, I wouldn't say propped up kasi meron nga silang mga significant na panalo dito, especially up against itong matches. And I feel like that was, one of the series na draw, or actually, never mind. They didn't play Angkara ng time na yun. To be fair, para dito sa acceptance, I think the times that they have played Angkara was up against itong Atras actually. Naalala ko yun. I think it was a 10-2 nung time na yun. So we really didn't get to see much from that specific one, no pare. But yun nga, galing sa baka ibang games up against Rosea, they did get to 10-6. So pagdating naman sa experience, at least, ayun nga, no, it's still gonna be there para dito sa acceptance. But you're starting to doubt, no, yung quality ng games na nakuha nga nila, or at least the quality of wins na nakuha nga nila, considering they only won ang Kara up against yung Rosea teams natin, pare.
No, yeah, it's also the fact na yung style of play nila dito, or rather the chemistry of the team on a given day, no, it's like rolling a dice, pare. You don't know if you're gonna get a 1 or a 6. And speaking of that dice analogy, makita mo kahapon, natalo nila yung Fervid. Very weird, right? Like kung ikaw yung viewer na manonood ng games natin and you're going to base your predictions on fact and logic, magugulat ka na lang. Pero fact and logic can get denied by skill dito ng ating mga teams. And I feel like Execration, as much as they are fumbling around with Angkara sometimes, and they're even having a hard time against binating teams lower than their expectations, masabi ko pa rin na experience-wise, even if Acceptance had more tenure on this map in their whole season, Execration is still Execration on Angkara. Now, we're going to expect possibly another ace from either CBN or Polex. Maybe si Yotib naman yung magwawala katulad nung kanina. Or maybe it's time for Justin to step up and just show us na he still got it. Hindi na lang natin nakita sa stats. So he's there, and what he can bring is just not the stats, it's the pressure and the presence of being a veteran. No? I would like to see that from Execration. Acceptance, you have that in droves, pero yun nga, no, they're still tweaking this system na parang Virtus Pro and Spring. Pero yun nga, as an impact team coming to Masters, marami ka talaga i-adjust, and at least nakikita natin na they're adjusting on the right path.
Ayun nga, no, I feel like Acceptance definitely in the right path pagdating sa improvement. And ayun nga, no, I also would like to highlight yung Angkara game nila up against itong Fervid. Napapaisip din ako, are they gonna get the same opportunities na nakita nga natin kahapon? Kasi yun nga, no, Fervid were kinda, off their rhythm in their entirety dun sa buong series na yun. And I really do not think that they were there, 100% dito sa mapa natin, pare. So, ayun nga, Execration, obviously, nakita na natin yung nangyari dito sa map number 1. They're obviously kind of ramped up and ready to go, but at the same time, Team Acceptance, meron din silang Shino na grit ng port. So, ayun nga, I feel like there is still some heart, no, para dito sa side ng Team Acceptance, but Execration, fully knowing na they are going to be starting on BL side, CBN will be lurking almost half the time para nga dito sa team na to. But I have seen some really good set plays galing dito sa Execration, no? Yung mga B splits na higing maganda para sa kanila, their A split na including itong RS has been really good. So how will Team Acceptance contain this, no? Kung paano nila i-contain yung early peaks dito ng MVA, paano nila i-contain yung paglason dito ni Justin. Pero, they also have some heavy shooters at the same time. If Heck can perform exactly as expected, no, dito sa mapa natin. That's gonna provide some very big presence para dito sa Acceptance, especially on the A and the mid side of the map natin, men.
Yun yung hinahanap ko dito sa Acceptance. Those individuals na bigla na lang mag-pop up. Pero speaking of individuals, nakita natin sa laruan dito ng Execration versus Virtus Pro and Stallions na oo, may individual kayo na magaling. So siya yung tatargetin namin, no? Nasabi din ni Polex dito yung style nila ng play na where they don't go for the push on one side, like the push LA, push mid, push second mid. Ang ginagawa nila, push natin to si Kano, push natin to si Yubi, push natin si Elvin. Baka makita din natin yan dito sa Acceptance na they're trying to target their bounty hunters kumbaga, and they're hunting these specific members ng Acceptance na nakita nilang nagsisimula ng apoy at nagsisimulang uminit. Number 1 siguro dyan, I would say si Silence siya si Dre, and then third priority si Heck just because of the sniper matchup na kayang-kaya ni UTIP. So maybe around those lines yung magiging playstyle ng Execration. Pero again, they're a mixed bag in terms of performance sa Ankara. It's not like either Eagle Eye, it's not like their new compounds, not like their port na right now, as much as tig-isa pa lang sila sa port siya sa new compound, 100% win rate alongside Eagle Eye, highest in the league by the way guys. Magaling yung excess sa Eagle Eye. Ankara, let's see some wild card plays. Let's see some, I would like to call it stupidity being genius at the right moment plays. And who else but Execration, no? Because we've seen their genius come out from the top 2 teams na tinalo nila.
Ayun nga, I mean, I also want to see that galing sa Acceptance. So I feel like we barely saw the poke and prod game dito sa first half nila, men, especially when it comes to that GR side dito ng port na I think yung kanilang idea dito is to, you know, really play as passive as possible, maybe just play on our side of the map, and unfortunately that just allowed space para sa Execration na kunin tong CA, kunin tong C, and have multiple ways going into the site. I would want to see Acceptance maybe try to pull off something like a 4 LA, maybe a 3-second mid kind of play na nakikita natin, just to try and disrupt yung Execration, no, na we're probably gonna see kind of holding at the start of the round, fully knowing na I think they want the players or they want the defense to be at least set first bago sila pumasok dito pare, para mas madali sila predict. But of course, I think we are going into the game and we are gonna go into the comms right now.
Piso CBN.
Patay ko na napay mid lane mid nila.
Piso sa CBN.
Kaya ra Dre.
Messi, no?
Umatras na ikate, Yotib.
Try ko itong binito.
Pero labanan itong araw.
Okay.
Daming try.
So, from the comms pa lang, Sneaky, I can tell you 100% nagwa-VOD review tong Acceptance because they're calling out the player name. And if they're calling out the player name, that means they're targeting a specific side. You heard CBN. Alam nila nandito siya sa ating Dorby. And if that is something na narinig natin sa Acceptance, then markado siya, no? Ayun na nga. Exactly. Yung calls natin medyo advanced, pero I like this. Advancing the play from Acceptance, pero Execration still has a chance at the 2v4.
Oh, he no-scoped it? Never mind, nag-switch lang siya dito pare. And the O-tip, it is what it is, man. Happens to all of us from time to time, pare, na hindi mo na mouse 1 bago mo mag-QQ. Pero Justin na lang natitira dito, pare. I think the objective here for the side of Acceptance is to, ayun nga, no, since CBN yung kanilang target, gusto sana nilang mas maging occupied, di ba, ibang players dito ng XS, so they cannot go for their 3-man splits dito sa mapa natin. Justin on Minitair. Okay, nakuha na ka dito si Ajax, Silent, and Ting also corralling dito sa mapa natin, and Silent will be getting the headshot. Acceptance with the first round, and Execration, no? Not expecting na ganun yung mangyayari or ganun angles na i-hold dito na 80, pare.
I like that transition from our observers, no? And my observation, Sneaky, is this Acceptance team, no? Pinaprevent nila yung movement ni CBN, but Yotib, it's gonna get prevented dito by Heck. And the defense, solid, strong dito para sa Acceptance. Si Execration just has to go through vents and maybe just surprise these two side players natin sa A.
Hindi nga mauna dito yung mga fence players natin. Silent out in the open, pero mapapaback naman sa in time. NBA taking his sweet time na lumapas dito ng EA, pare. CBN will be getting Silent Ray. Nakuha na nga si Folex dito. Too strong on the push instead. Right. NBA with a really good spot galing dito sa Sikip. And CBN now fully blinded. He can only see white. And is gonna spot Ajax in time. Ting spotted na rin dito sa exit wall. Banged out. At kung sino pa natira men sa yung unang sumala dito sa mapa natin. Heck on 20 HP. And MVA a bit too wise to the tricks of one named Heck. Pero si Heck, naunang nakita dito si MTA na mag-drop. And it is gonna be Acceptance. Getting that one pare. Tamang refill lang dito men from Heck.
Exactly, no? Told you. NBA and Heck, parang match sila no? In terms of like their moves dito. Going towards that 3-back sa may floor 8 natin. Sadyang lamang lang ng isang move dito, si Heck. So this time around, alam nila na minamarkahan nila si CBN. He's gonna go down. But do they expect the second here, Sneaky? I don't think so. Not unless hindi gumalaw, no? Itong players natin from Execration. NBA thinking of the push. Pero I feel like they're waiting for Folex to do his rounds pa. Not really supporting towards dito sa may TB. They're just letting Justin hold the line. Calling him over as well. Maybe just doing some util spreads dito natin sa high mid side. And you're gonna go for the entry.
Spotted. Oh, nice shot galing kay Yotib. NBA will be spotting Ting na nag-overextend. Yotib, another one para sa kanya. Heck, naka-reply na nga kay Folex ng isang TRG shot. Pero Silent, half HP na nga dito sa loob ng ating spawn. It will be Dre spotted. And Silent na lang natitira. EBR nasa kanyang kamay. Headshot dito kay Yotib. Suddenly, it's a winnable 1 versus 2. 25 seconds left on the clock. No reason or rhyme para mag-peak dito yung Execration. Silent with the check. May tao dito sa TB. MVA. Nasa gilid lang ng hotel. At hindi gumagalaw. Dito si MVA. Kanina lang siya naka-steady dito. And he doesn't mind na medyo maingay itong B-side pare. He is looking for that win.
That's true. Even with the first pick dito, going to the side of Acceptance, the Execration is something na talagang mahirap kalabanin. We've seen that from STS, we've seen that from VP, we've seen that on matches, even in the losing effort. Pero yun nga, no, once they get that post plant down, Execration is a hard team to beat. Going back dito sa ating live round mga kaibigan, round number 4. Execration, they're just going to stack floor A as 5. Where's Heck? He's actually a bit late na sa top Asia, marking yung EA natin, pero once they get the whole control of floor A dito, Sneaky, and a bit of an extension dito by Justin sa may CA to check if merong tao dyan sa high mid, they're going to just come crashing on this side once they get control of vents. And Silent and Heck, this duo needs to come alive.
Flash on the top A side. Justin spotted na nga dito si Silent. CBN trying to spot some heads on the top A side. Ayun. Si Silent. Heck will be getting Fall X. Or rather, it's the opposite. Fall X setting Heck with the USP. At si Ajax nakatakas pa kahit pa paano dito sa may exit natin. But the smoke is not gonna help ya because Fall X is standing right in front of it. Ting. Tinatry na talagang umiwas dito sa HK ni Folex like it's the Matrix, pero tignan mo naman ang sitwasyon natin dito. It's a 2 versus 5. Everything's occupied. Walang CA control itong Acceptance, so might as well call it a done deal.
Yeah, yun nga yung sinabi ko nung Sneaky round previews. Pag nakuha ng Execration yung setup sa kanilang play and that execute, ang hirap nila pigilan. What can 2 site holders do dito kapag 5 yung rumaragasa towards the site? And they didn't even go towards sa top. Di man lang nila ginamit yung hagdanan. Umangat lang sila doon sa sightbox natin, malapit sa vents, and they just got the taps. I want to see a replay of that if possible kasi alam mong lalaban yan sila Silent siya sila Heck. I don't know how Fall got the USP kill, pero yung first kill dito kay Silent, yun siguro yung naging round confirm para dito sa Execration because nawala agad yung rifler, no, which has the more potential to get a multi-kill for the side of Acceptance. This time though, Heck trying to do some preventive measures sa may floor A and they're pushing it hard, pero Execration the move dito sa may hotel naman.
Yun nga, Ting. Realizing in the entirety of long A is clear, so isa-stack na lang dito yung B side, but I feel like the flank is still needed, no, para sa ganitong sitwasyon pare. You know, as much as it is gonna be possibly a 5v5 sa loob ng B side, you know, the nades are gonna be quite annoying para dito sa X And interestingly enough, mapapabalik sila dito ng long. Ting,
paramdam.
Pero nagparamdam siya doon. Man, pero Yotib! Nagtaka siya pare kung bakit may green na nade na lumilipad papunta sa kanya, pero smoke lang pala yun. And within that confusion, nakuha niya pa nga yung sniper dito ng Execration. Exe is forced to go B site.
Folex, no? He was the first guy to do that spot. Learning from the opponents and showing them a one-up, pare. So, Execration, going back to the site na dapat naman talaga nilang tamaan. The reclear on A was good, pero not in their fruition side. But Dre, he's gonna get one! And,
Crossfire, pare. Oy.
Everything.
That's just a full clear. Full
he got
sweep.
everything.
Full block on the B side, no, pare. And that was all on the flank na nangyari dito sa LA, no? L, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just blocking off the entirety of it. It was a bit questionable nung nagtapon si Ting dito na smoke, pero sinalban niya naman with a kill on YouTube. So, Execration, maybe it's time to kalat play sa una, pare, and then kinda go for something after kasi Acceptance. Ito yung tinatanong natin sa kanila kanina, L, the poke and prod. Finally, ginagawa na nila ulit.
Poking and prodding all around the map. Last round confirmed by Ting. This round, through the utility and through the spam ata sa may mid. Natamaan dito si MVA. I feel like that was a Hex fault. Pero at this point, no, switching the TRG over to MVA is a good idea in technicality, but in practicality, no, let's see if he has the shots. No, iiwan na lang siya dito sa may hukay just to confirm rotation sa si Ting. He's gonna go down because of it. So, good swap on the guns. Good pick off. Pero, he has to get... muntikan na.
Buti na
MVA,
lang
you are a lucky man.
Itong si Ajax, pare. Almost said Apex. Itong si Ajax. Wait, Justin? Uy! Ay, tayo ulo! Nakita yung balikat. Ajax almost hitting the nastiest shot ever. Pero mag-isa lang siya dito sa second mid. CBN will be trying to assault from the big door side. Pero Ajax na lang yung magpupush dito sa bypass para makareconnect siya kasama ang kanyang teammate. CBN! Sinayawan! Dito ni Ajax. Di man lang matamaan yung one-tap dito because of the crouch spam. But still, reality is dito LB site has been taken ng Execration and it will be planted para sa spawn. And the rotations are gonna be quite hard, especially coming in from the exit side. Justin, tamang upo lang dito sa may boxes. Dapat may seconds contact to, pare. Kaso i-check ka dito si Justin. Good check ka na kay Dre. MVA though holding the line sa loob ng spawn. Sniper shot gonna hit. Dre's gonna go down. 20 HP sniper doing a lot dito sa mapa natin. Folex spotting Ajax just in time. MVA! Isa na naman para sa kanya, pare. And Yotib's gonna go down. He wished he had the sniper at that time, pero wala nang sasalba sa round na to para kay Silent at para sa Acceptance. Execration. Bit of a surprise dito sa high mid despite the mistake earlier in the round, pare.
Okay, I feel like ito Execration they unlock a new skill, pare. Pwede na tayo mag-double TRG. MVA has the skills to do it, pero they prefer not to, no? And only these times of great desperation kung saan talagang napisuhan na isa yung rifle, you swap the guns. And MVA, even though hindi siya yung primary sniper natin, he got his rounds dito, he got his skills. Siya yung nagpanalo ng round. Nakita ko naman dito for Acceptance, the good side is, they know na CBN is going to be static dito sa door B. Kinlear siya ni Ajax, and they got an advantage position there, pero itong Execration, they just got RS, no? And they got exit towards A. So, hirap ng position na Acceptance, even if they have the advantage technically. So, same approach dito sa rounds natin. Labanan sa floor A, medyo madugo. Heck, Justin, Folex, and Ting low. And it's a Mexican standoff, sneaky.
Yun nga, Heck. Nakaupo lang dito sa gitna ng kawalan, pare. Boxes on 6 HP. An HE would be cause for concern. Kaso alam na ni Justin na may tao dito, pare. Folex assigned to kill him, pero nakuha na pa rin yun! Heck on 6 HP! Survival of the fittest indeed ang nagawa na dito sa LA, pare. MBA will go down. Good spot ka kay Dre. And a 2 versus 4. Gusto pong pumasok dito ng LA na mga tropa natin. YouTube. Makakuha na angle dito sa Biniter, no? Kung maka-pick off siya ng isa or dalawa dito sa mapa natin, just like he did prior, pwede pa to. But CBN also has his handiwork cut out for him, pare. CA peak. Yotib switching to the EBR. Makaikot pa siya in time. Trey will be going down, pero namatay na rin dito si Yotib. 1 versus 2 na naman para kay CBN, but it is more of a realistic chance this time. Magkahiwala yung dalawang players natin. EA, gonna be a bit early. Spotted si Ajax. Ajax fighting. Naka-sniper naman sa dito, pare. It's fine if he is on the low HP. Silent also wondering kung tataan ba dito sa ating spawn, itong si CBN. CBN with the USP. Nakatakas just in time. Actually, repeats towards the left side. At iikutan na dito si Silent. CBN trying to go for the pre-fire pero si Silent nakatago na sa site. And a really good reposition galing kay Silent, pare. They have trapped the last player. Grabe naman si Hector, man. He was going for the riskiest play possible at gumana talaga yun.
Isa din sa kasalanan ng Execration doon, no, where was the utility? Nagamit ba kagad nila kaya ganun sila ka-low? Or where was even the flash to clear out that box? Alam nyo na nandun na si Heck. Pero di na-clear. So talo sa labanan dito ang Execration, but they're gonna try a high mid push.
Uy, CBN? Yun lang, di niya makuha dun si Ajax, pare. And Heck also getting his own kills as well. Ting the only casualty so far para sa Acceptance as 3 players instantly taken out dito. Ni Heck at ni Ajax. Yotib though. Gusto niya pa rin ituloy itong B-side thanks to the presence dito ni Justin. Nakarating na nga all the way inside of batteries. Pero kailangan pa yata nila mag-clear dito. Men on the backside, Ajax will be getting Yotib. At si Justin tinigil na yung plant. Laban na nga lang dito sa dalawang players. Justin full swing, jumping with the USP. Pero hindi yan gagana. And it will be a 5-3 dead round para sa atin dito.
Yeah, ang number one word dito para sa Acceptance is control, no? I feel like the control na nagagawa dito ng Acceptance is one of the better GR sides na nakita natin from them. Alam nila kung saan manggagaling dito sa CBN. Namamarka nila yan. Alam ni Heck na lalaban dito madalas ang ating Execration side sa floor A. So they bring the brunt of their forces, no? Marami silang dinalalan dito sa CA sa floor A and they're willing to fight it out habang kinakancel ng isang player nila dito sa hotel yung gawain ni CBN. Even at times, no, pushing it. At alam ni CBN na hindi niya ma-push kasi usually si Ajax yung nakatao doon. He's rocking that second sniper sneaky. Ang hirap pushin yan, alam mo na yan. Lalo na you can't set up your own flash as CBN, mahirap yon sobra. So, ngayon, Execration, medyo nasasakal sila sa mga gawain ng Acceptance. So, they tried sending it doon sa previous round natin bago mag-dead round. And lo and behold, hindi gumana.
Ayun nga, man. Unfortunately, it did not work for them. Ayun nga, Acceptance so far, no, dito sa kanilang GR side has actually been defending very, very well dito sa mapa natin. And multiple times na nakikita na natin yung presence dito ni Heck, man. Heck even sending it on the most randomest angles kagaya na nakita natin sa boxes kanina, pare. And yun yung kailangan natin galing kay Heck. We needed, since si Ajax na yung bahala dito, no, so kind of anchory, kind of sitting around, kind of sniping play, no? I mean, if Heck can be the forward guy para sa team niya, why not? Gagana naman yan, men.
Exactly. Talagang read them like a book, no? Yung masasabi ko dito kay Hex. Kung sinabi niya yun, hindi na sure. Tingnan mo niya kung ilang dinadala niya yun sa site. Eh, pare, 4. So he actually knows the read. After the dead round, this is going to be a round that is very much alive.
Uy, Justin, pure contact. Ina-expect pa? Mukhang hindi. Katabi mo na yung sniper, pare. Pero si Heck, si Ajax, di pala nakatira. Yun lang. Ajax, I think he missed the initial shot, pare, and hindi niya nasala dito yung USP in time. And a full-on swarm galing sa Execration as we enter the second half. A contact A play para sa kanila, men.
Ano yun? May tao dun sa harapan ng hagdan na nakamarka kay Justin. Nabulag ba? May util ba tayo nakita? No, di ba?
I think yung angulo, sakto lang yata yung timing na walang nakapick sa kanya dun eh.
Parang ano, no, nag-hyperfixate sila dun sa room A, na dun sa hagdan na yun aangat. They forgot about the right stairs, pare. And Justin was just able to take 4. Actually, I think 3 or 2. And the rest of the team capitalizing on that. I don't know about that round for Acceptance. They had the proper positioning, just not the proper marking. So, yung utang ko, nagpa-process pa rin kung paano nangyari sa Execration. That round was yours. You had 4 members there. Pero, Execration, again, pulling rounds out of nowhere. Even that round, talagang, I don't know, question marks talaga.
I think that was on Ajax, pare. No? Siya yung nakabantay dito sa left stairs natin on top A, and he unfortunately missed. To be fair, no, I would also miss in that position kasi hindi dumiretso si Justin eh. Parang nag-hazy pa siya onte and then he went in. So, ayun nga, you really don't know what the pre-fire or the pre-aim is for that kind of position. And by the time that they figured it out, pare, nakarating na ng top A itong Execration. They closed the distance very quickly. And I can't blame them, or hindi mo mabiblame yung Acceptance for that type of play, no? Kasi yun yung tamang play. Yun yung tamang play doon, L, 100%. Heck, being on the other side of the map, possibly dito sa tower, could help. Pero wala eh. Execration, they just contacted and nagkataon na may magandang timing tong si Justin, pare.
Lupit ng coin flip ng round na yun. 5-4 mga kaibigan. Switching sides tayo. Execration naman ang mag-GR. Acceptance holding on to the lead even after that fumble dito sa last round natin ng first half. And commendable on both sides. Acceptance getting a read. Total read dito from the Execration side. And Execration naman ngayon, medyo, sabihin lang natin, they're outgunning Acceptance in the rounds that they have been getting them, no? So, a bit of back and forth, pasasabi natin yan from both teams, pero this can only be so much, no? Para sa ating GR side ng Acceptance. Pag nag-swap, I'm hoping na it's the same kind of VOD review or notes dito para sa Acceptance on the GR side naman ng Execration, pero yun nga, no? Kung gano'n kaganda yung read nila sa BL, paano pa kaya sa GR? Tingnan natin sa sa rounds na padating. Pero Sneaky, I feel like is map number 3 a possibility para sa dalawang teams na to?
Definitely a possibility, no, pare, knowing how Ankara went para dito sa Team Acceptance the last time, no, and it seems like they have, I wouldn't say fully figured out itong GR side natin, especially knowing what happened dito sa first half. And ayun nga, I feel like it's a lot more solid galing sa kanila, men. I love seeing the attempts of them going for forward plays dito sa mapa natin, especially earlier, no, nung nag-take over itong si Ting dito sa long. And I feel like those players will have massive responsibilities, especially yung tatlong riflers dito na Acceptance, no. Kailangan may malalang step up na manggagaling sa kanila kasi ayun nga, Heck is gonna be doing his own thing. Ajax will be, you know, overlooking you maybe in the backline, but I've known itong si Ajax dito sa BL side na nag-EBR na rin siya dito, no? So I wouldn't be surprised if 4 rifles will be pulled out para dito sa Acceptance to kind of pick up the pace, no? Dito sa mapa natin, and especially with their recent game, hindi naman sila takot sa pacing dito, L. Surprisingly, despite Acceptance being touted as a quote-unquote, you know, passive team, pare, nung game nila up against Fervid, they're really not afraid to face yung kanilang kalaban nun, men.
Yeah, yun lang yung gusto makita sa Acceptance, no? Confidence on their BL side. Pero tingnan natin kung confident din ba yung comms nila, no? How's it sound?
Kaya pero may sabihin, makuha na.
Akin lang, mid.
Pasi na isa.
Kita ko mid ah.
I feel like fatigue is settling in a bit, no?
Yeah.
Medyo tahimik yung teams natin. But still, no, from Acceptance side, they still have the read. Alam nila kung saan yung landing spot ng depensa ng Execration. Tingnan lang natin kung yung galawan dito ni Ting sa CA will bear fruit. If he can make a distraction at the same time ginagawa din yun ni CB and checking yung doors B, is going to prove effective para sa Acceptance. Pero right now, just taking control of the map slowly but surely, and once the reconnect, no, towards mid happens, and pinulot nila yung C4 na yan, you execute, it's going to be very deadly, lalo na, well, dalawa lang naman dito sa site A natin, isang mabilis na rotator kay MBA. Kaya so far, just checking out the lay of the land. It's not poking and prodding, Sneak. Wala naman kasi silang pinupok exactly sa Execration. They're just checking out kung ano yung available na space. And once they decide kung saan mas maluwag siguro, doon na sila mag-execute.
Yun nga, TB control has been taken para dito sa Acceptance. And interestingly enough, no, napaka-far back dito ni Yotib sa kanyang posisyon dito. So they are trying to play it kinda safe para dito sa Execration to start things off. And the CBN as well, no? I think pwede siya mag-swing back from the hotel side to try and see if he can get any of the players here. Pero Acceptance kinda doubting yung kanilang play dito sa TB and liking what they're seeing. Instead, na nasa high mid, Justin bumaba na nga dito sa kanyang box ng RS. Spotting 3 na nandito sa mid. Nasa na yung backup. Justin with the spray. Good flash from his teammate. And Ting and Silent tumakbo ng high mid na bulag dito. Uy. Ajax tagged up to low HP. Napakagandang wallbang galing kay Justin and he's just cheesing them over and over again and that is 4 players dead na nasa HM. A really good flash into a really good spray, pare.
I like that dito para sa Execration, no? I feel like yung mid-round rotation nila, no, parang kutob lang ata yun or maybe that is protocol. We'll have to find out if they do that again or this time. Aggressively holding tong doors bin natin, no? Expecting possibly a play coming out of Acceptance, pero Acceptance still passive, no? Not poking and prodding at all, just exploring kung anong parte ng mapa, yung libre na binibigay dito na Execration. Pero nothing is free. If you take that space, alamin nyo dapat na ito Execration, pwede kayong mapunish niyan anytime that you move or overstep. So, same sequence, I feel like, sitting nandiyan na naman sa CA, kakabit na naman yung dalawa, siguro 4 pa nga, and then siguro may isang late galing TB, pero they're gonna retry towards A naman, hindi na towards B. So, Justin and Folex, they have to be really, really careful kasi yung diversion by Ting is done by on mid. Hindi makakaalis si MPA dito because of the threat and now they have to go for the fight sa may EA.
Uy, pero CBN, napakagandang spot to, pare. Wala siya makikita ni isang tao na nasa likod. But Heck is a bit suspicious. CBN, teka lang, Heck, magsiset up pa pala ng flash dito, pare, pero kailangan niya bumalik ng boxes agad-agaran. Folex, no headshot for him this time. CBN's flank will be cancelled. Folex nandito pa sa room. Justin with zone. Double spray, mukhang hindi pa pala yun. 2 versus 3, many low HP players para dito sa Acceptance. MVA going in, that's too early. Naku po, masyadong napaaga yung pasok dito ni MVA, pare. That could have been potentially something. Nade kay Yotib, hindi tatama kahit sa ni isang player dito. And wouldn't be surprised if he picks up that EBR that is right in front of him. 23, double spray, but it is a triple angle para sa Acceptance and they will get a round in return. And ayun nga, medyo na-broken yung ankles to ng X and CBN. He was hoping that that was the game-winning play, pare.
Markado pa rin yan dito na Acceptance. So, yun yung hinahanap ko dito, Sneaky Frog. Kung alam ba ng Acceptance yung mga tendencies ni CBN, kasi CBN usually yung kumukuha ng angles dito para sa execution to confirm information. He's gonna be tested though.
Uy! CBN was fully blinded in that position. Whoever threw that flash. You need a big shout out, pare. And I assume it was Dre actually throwing that one. And Ajax spotted na nga dito sa hotel a bit early on the contact para sa Acceptance. I think I was hoping na meron pang onting mystery, no, dito sa kanilang push, whether it is going back into the mid side or into itong A. Pero establishing control muna siguro, pare.
Punishing CBN, no? Pero hindi to parang sa Stalios na si Loy lang yung nagpa-punish sa kanya, na nag-shutdown sa kanya. It's the whole team making an active effort dito sa Acceptance na mamarkahan talaga si CBN. Alam nila na siya yung key to victory dito sa GR side. Or sa MVA, no? He's gonna test something out.
MVA. Tamang testing lang. Ting down to low HP pero makakalis sa just in time. And Ajax. Oh, yun lang. It took him a while to get that kill. And a whole lot of HP. But still, it's very well worth it, no, pare. Kahit low na dito si Ajax, he can just be sent in. No problem whatsoever para sa kanyang posisyon. Pero Justin will be going for the recheck. Left, right, center. Tama ba ang kanyang chinecheck dito, pare? Mukhang hindi! And Justin still gets it. Buti na lang na nagbintis dun si Ajax sa kanyang unang mga tira dito. Pero Folex, still suspicious na pwede pang may lumabas dito ng A-site. 40 seconds left. And Folex spotted na nga dito sa top A. Will be peeking in first at nagkamali sa ng angulo dito, Heck. Flicking up gamit ang kanyang USP and spotting Yotib bago makakit ng tower. Justin, the last one left alive and it seems like yung kalat nga ng AT, medyo naaaning na dito yung Execration. They are biting on these fakes, pare.
Ang ganda ng poking, ang ganda ng prodding, and ang ganda ng patience play dito na Acceptance. Kung ano yung meron sila sa port, they increased it up pa dito sa Ankara and that is the map experience, no? The knowledge dito na Acceptance coming out. At nalaman pa nila kung nasa si Justin just the random spam. Tawa na sila kasi hula lang yun. 100% nakita nyo din sa camera nila, tumatawa sila. Nandun pala siya, no? At sino nga palang mag-aakala na ito Acceptance ay lalamang ng dalawa sa BL side laban sa Execration dahil na-shutdown nila yung mga importanteng angulo dito. Si CBN, tingnan mo, he's forced to play passive dito sa may bypass. Pero mauuluhan pa rin siya. That was so random. Pero
Oh my
silent,
God.
no? Truly the silent killer dito. Sneaky Frog at tutuloy-tuloy lang ang acceptance towards high, mid, as to.
Yeah, that was pure
Ayun
map
ba nila?
knowledge pare. Dito sa second mid, ding, nakarating
Oo,
na
nalagpasan.
nga. Pero MVA, looking at the right place at the right time. Alam niya ba na dalaway ng tao na naan dito? Justin getting it. However, MVA is gonna go down. Alam din na bukas na dito yung spawn. And gusto nila lang paunahin yung mga players na naan dito sa LA. Justin, nakaltukan na nga dito si Ajax, but look at Folex's position. He gets one, but can he get Heck in return? Heck kanina pa pinapatay dito si Paul, but he wants revenge. C4 nasa vents. Dre getting Yotib with the confirmation, pero yung C4 realistically is still in the hands ng Execration. Justin trying to expand space. Dre tap walking. Dre no longer tap walking, pare! Pero Justin nagkamali ng tingin! Nagkamali ng sound! And Folex having to play some very risky angles, men, para lang makakuha ng chance ang kanyang team. Pero acceptance yung kanilang kalat. Gumana na naman dito, men, and Execration having to pull out the timeout. They are getting caught left, right, and center sa kanilang mga openings. And ayun nga, acceptance kinda relying on that initial 5v4, no? Pag nakuha na nila yun, pare, pwede na nilang laruin yung mapa, pwede na nilang laruin yung Execration kasi alam mo naman yung Exe, they're a bit thirsty for these trades, pare.
And I feel like yung blueprint dito na kinuha na acceptance was galing sa Team Stallions, no? Nakita mo naman kung paano pinapunish ni Loy si CBN on both sides of the map dito sa Ankara. And acceptance took that to heart, installed it in all 5 players. At si CBN, wala siyang magawa. Lagi siyang nililima, o kung hindi man siya nililima, may smoke yung doors B, i-spamin siya sa tamang angle, mamamatay siya sa spam. And after that, everything just crumbles dito para sa Execration. Nababypass yung mid nila, nawawala yung mid player nila because of the random stacks na ginagawa ng Execration. And even if they take control of the C4, end of it, man disadvantage sila, no? So, ano yung kailangan gawin dito ng Execration? Well, they have to rethink how they want to control tong hotel. Or they have to redo the setup. Somehow, lagay mo si CBN in a position na hindi siya yung natatarget, no? As much as tinatarget siya ng acceptance, sige, hayaan nyo, ibigay natin yung lugar na gusto nilang kunin. Hindi yung tao yung hinahanap nila yung lugar, no? So, put CBN in a more passive position or in a more active position. Tapos tingnan natin kung gagana yan laban dito sa ginagawa ng acceptance. May mga setup din dito na gusto makita si Yotib, yung humahawak mismo ng Doors B. Pero, siguro it might just suffer, no? The same fate as CBN na baka ma-random spam lang siya. Pero iba pa rin kasi yung datingan kung sniper yung pinapahol mo ng angle, no? So, Execration, adjustments need to be seen. In acceptance, siguro, a third map is really possible. And they're 2 rounds away from doing it.
Yun nga, acceptance going the distance, and it would be nice if makita nga natin tong map number 3 natin, especially we kinda know what is in store dito sa ating Eagle Eye 2.0. Of course, Team Acceptance has been very good on Eagle Eye for the past few times na nakita sila, pare. And ayun nga, Execration, obviously, nakita naman natin yung kanilang panalo dun sa mapa na yun, and especially with the performance dito ni Yotib at ni CBN nung time na yun, pare. It was really an amazing map to see para dito sa Execration. It was there strategically, it was there, you know, firepower-wise, pero titignan natin, men, if we are gonna make it there just yet. Acceptance, of course, still with a massive lead dito sa ating mapa ng Ankara, no? And just like what I said, I feel like the baits have been working para sa kanila, pare. They are gonna take aggressive map control sa isang side ng mapa, maybe get a pick-off, which is their original objective talaga, pare. At pag nakuha na nila yung 5 versus 4, dun na sila uma-action din. Dun na sila naghahanap, kumbaga, dito sa map natin.
Nawawala din yung yung trading dito ng Execration, eh. No, usually, pag nag-hold sila, talaga isa-isang angle lang yung hinahawakan nila and very far from each other, no? Tapos kapag napipitasan naman sila, ang nangyayari, tinatry lang habulin kahit wala silang +1, no? So maybe, kailangan nilang pagtabi-tabihin pa yung mga players nila, make it more compact this defense para lang mabilis yung sagutan at hindi magkaroon ng napakalaking map control itong side na acceptance, no? Kasi ilang rounds na ba natin nakikita yung ating acceptance team na to na ang ganda ng kalat. Nakuha yung RS, nakuha yung floor A, nakuha yung areas na, alam mo yun, parang nasasakal tong Execration, no? kailangan magdikit-dikit pa tong mga players natin para sa execution. Kumbaga, lagyan nyo na isang player pa si CBN para kung mamatay man siya, may instant trade, maybe a 4v3 for their side. Pero siguro, ready din dun yung acceptance sa galaw lang kasi tinatatlo, inaapat, yung angles. Mahirap solusyonan tong ginagawa ng acceptance. Kailangan mo lang talaga minsan i-out-aim, no?
Yep. Tama yung assumption natin no, dito, El, na si CBN talaga tina-target dito ng acceptance. And I feel like that's the right player to kind of target no, dito sa mapa natin. Him, despite getting multiple quote-unquote highlight plays dito sa mapa natin, you know, his effectivity is still up in the air dito sa Ankara. No? You know, he is getting the spots that he wants, he's getting the frags, pero yung problema nga lang, acceptance going into the next round, meron na silang punish ready para sa kanya pare. And ayun nga, and I like na yung acceptance. So when it comes to these punishes, together silang gumagawa dito, man. It's a 3-man peak, pero si Silent nag-wallbang din dito sa likod just in case. And yun nga, it kind of creates this huge wall that is just moving towards you na hindi mo talaga mapipigilan kung kayo yung exe. So, ayun nga, if you're on the side of execration, yun nga, now it's time to get a bit creative. Now it's time to get a bit aggressive kasi ang dami yung inaalaw sa mapa na to, na nakaka-setup lang dito yung acceptance.
Hindi talaga papigilan yung initial set. Parang reminiscent siguro ng PL side ng excess support. No? You can kind of say the same, minus siguro yung kalat sa mapa na nakukuha nila ultimo yung RS. No? So, for execution, keys to victory, I would say, just get Yotib the first pick. Get him the first pick, predict where this acceptance pack is gonna go, and then siguro just cancel it out, no? Pilitin na sila yung mag-adjust, maging passive, at kung passive yung acceptance, then you're doing something right. That's it, kung ma-apply nila, tinatlo nga nila yung doors B dito, no, Sneaky. So, a bit of notes being taken, pero acceptance. C4 is leading dito sa may second mid natin. I'm not sure kung senyales ba to na pabalik sila or parang ito yung end ball nila. End point rather. We'll figure it out. Pero habang nandyan yung C4, kumakalat sila sa floor A, using some of those utils to bait out rotations back. At yun nga, ending, mag-isa na naman dito sa CBN. And it's right back to where we started.
Yun nga, CBN on an island once again dito sa mapa natin. And yung only objective lang talaga dito ng acceptance is to really play as passive as they can until they spot a player kind of overextending on the side of Exe. Pero kung wala sila makuha na ganoon, that means there's a lot of space in the map to play with. And I feel like one of the main problems kung bakit nahihirapan sila dito sa B-site, no, the positions na kinukuha dito ni CBN and ni Yotib doesn't feel too connected. Kaya napatulong dito si MVA dito sa may second mid area natin pare to try and see if he can just gain cover para sa kanyang teammate. Still 55 seconds left on the clock pare. It's not much time.
So far, what's the rare instances na sa mid manggagaling yung peak dito na acceptance, pero it doesn't need to happen from mid pare. Makakuha si Heck dito sa may floor A natin, tanggal sa laruan si Justin at 4v5 na naman tayo. Pero then again, nasa inyo na yung stairs ng high mid. Pat bumalik pa kayo ng hotel, kakatokin nila ulit si CBN. At siya na naman yung unang entrada or pangalawa, rather no, para sa acceptance, pagbaba nila ng exit.
Oh, pero nakatingin dito si Yotib is actually gonna get itong si Dre. Akalain ba nila na nandito si CBN? Katabi lang nila dito. Ajax dying as well. Pero si Ting, yun lang akala niya. Mag-isa lang dito si Yotib, pero si CBN finally popping out of his corner dito sa hotel, and NBA spotting Heck in 8-6 para sa Execration, and it seems like you know, CBN just having a little less happier trigger finger, no, kinda help them dito pare.
Okay, so at first nakita natin yung solution was to triple stack itong doors B. Pag wala, iwan natin si CBN. The second adjustment na to, CBN, huwag ka nang humawak ng hotel. Doon ka sa may boxes sa may bandang kanan dito sa exit. Hayaan mo si Yotib, no? So tama yung prediction natin ng adjustment dito, Sneaky. And it worked out in the end dito para sa Execration. Acceptance though, ibang flavor din yung ginawa nila, no? So they're gonna rely back dito sa floor A push nila towards vents, at dalawa na naman yung kalaban nila, namely Justin and Folex. May diferensya naman ba sa approach dito para sa Execration on their hold?
Yun nga, Justin, Folex On top A, hindi dumaan ang roommate si Ajax. That's actually a smart move to take out itong si Justin. Pero si Folex pa rin natitira dito sa top A. Left, right, and center kailangan niya patayin. Pero si Trey nakita na si Paul. Pero NBA, di na pwede madalian dito yung exit para CA presence already. From one of the players, Yotip trying to go in. And NBA going in hard! On that side, he's gotten to! Trey, nakita na si Yotip na nasa CA. NBA down to low HP. Not much room, not much chance. Para sa kanya dito, Heck, EA, USP, left, right, and center. Medyo lugi na siya dito para nagpalit ng EBR. 23 bullets on him. Heck will be going down. Trey spotted as well. Tamang sayaw. NBA on 1 HP. Nakatukan! And oh my goodness me! Mapapangiti ka na lang talaga kung ikaw si Draydon. You knew how close that was.
That was the round. Okay na sana yung hold. MVA pulling out heroics dito para sa Execration, but it just wasn't enough. The HP just wasn't enough. And ngayon, didiretso sila sa hotel. Pero dito sa sabi second minsan may angatan sa uluhan. Pero si CBN pa rin ang unang punteriya.
Yun nga, CBN! Double kill para sa kanya, pare. They tried to surround him sa hotel, pero I think Bar is definitely the position to be in para sa kanya, men. And Silent will be going down. Heck. And Trey, the last two left alive. At mapapasabi ka na lang kay CBN, men, bakit di ko pa to hinold yung Bar kanina, no? I can see both yung entrance and itong second mid. And, ayun nga, maybe these late game realizations will be helping him with his chances para CBN wanting to re-peak. Papasok dito ng hotel. Trey, tempted. Pero CBN, will he be using the smoke? Mapapalayo na lang siya dito. Narinig ba ang kanyang paglakad? Mukhang oo. Trey now fully well aware. NBA not looking at all. CBN might have killed his captain due to that rotation, pare. Pero 4 versus 2 pa rin ang ating galawan. Yotib playing it extra safe. Maybe wanting to drop down dito kay Heck, pare. Pero yun nga, yan ang sinasabi ko. Quick scope drop down. Galing kay Yotib, and CBN will be getting that headshot, pare.
Yan na. He's had enough, pare. CBN has had enough. And he's gonna get a 3K from that previous round. Pero a 3K is not enough to take this game to overtime. No? Yun yung kailangan makuha dito na Execration. 2 more rounds in their belt. Look at the replay, no? Tama ka naman talaga na yan yung best position at least para kay CBN. No? You can just take to the left, flick to the right kung may tao dito sa bypass, may tao sa hotel entrance. Favorite position ko din yan sa Ankara when I hold itong hotel. No? Especially with the QBZ or the M14. Pero enough that here sa ating LA side. 3 na dito para sa Execration yung nakatambay sa top A. And if we are going to see another acceptance, bread and butter execute sa A, well, they better be prepared dahil they have one extra problem on the side na Execration.
This is just pure. Galing dito sa acceptance. And I wouldn't be surprised, no, if this is gonna be a contact play galing sa kanila, pare. Folex, none the wiser sa nangyayari dito sa mapa natin. Smoke from the roommate side. Hindi yan nakakontact, pare. Pero masyadong mahirap ang contact. Folex with a 3K. At naubos na nga acceptance dito sa Vince. Heck and Dre, the last 2 left alive. Justin now covering yung room A para sa kanyang kakampi. At napulot na nga ang C4, Justin. Suspicious. Dre still wanting a fight. And he gets a 1-tap dito kay Justin. Pero si Heck namatay na. Hell of a job para dito kay Dre na kumuha ng clutch. But NBA catches him retreating. Papunta nga dito ng yellow. 9-8 Execration on the brink of overtime, pare. And nag-timeout na yung acceptance.
Ayan na. Back-to-back triple kills para dito sa Execration is what brings them to 1 more round being required for that OT acceptance. Not wanting that to happen, no? Feeling that they've been getting red and just getting outgunned in their situations. We'll call the timeout dito, Sneaky. So, kung hindi na gumagana yung ating bread and butter sa floor A, siya yung pagtatrap natin dito kay CBN, what seems to be the approach? Well, may isa silang pwedeng tingnan. Yan yung ating mid, no? Nakita natin kanina, nag-1-3-1 sila, Sneaky. 3 yung nandito sa high mid, pero bumalik pa sila pa B. That costed them the round. And I feel like if masolusyonan lang dito na acceptance yung ating mid play nila, that could be the ender dito, no? And force a map 3 laban sa Execration. Pero talking about the other side, no, for the GR side naman na Execration, I feel like the best word to describe this Sneaky is just keep doing what you're doing, no? Mechanically, getting those triple kills, Yotib popping off, maybe MVA getting a solid flank, Justin just run and gunning dito, niraratol niya lang yung mga kalaban. Siguro yun lang yung kailangan, pero again, mechanical skill yung hinihingi natin sa execration, pero sa acceptance, kailangan natin ng extra macro, no? So there's a difference in the level na kailangan para sa wins ng teams natin. Ang tanong ko lang sa'yo, Sneaky, ano mas mapaboran mo dito? Yung sa acceptance na macro o yung sa execration na mechanical skill?
That's the thing, no? Kasi so far, yung naka-counter na maayos naman dito na acceptance, yung pinanggagawa nga dito ng execration, especially knowing na medyo far back na sila maglaro dito sa mapa natin, especially on the GR side. Yun nga, no, so far, I've been more of a fan nga dito ng acceptance at kanilang macro pare, especially going into this one. Pero mapapaisip ko na lang talaga dito, no, L, who has the more experience when it comes to this type of situation. It is a breakpoint round. And obviously, itong si Silent and si Heck having to step up to the plate pare para nga mabuhat ang kanilang pangku dito. So, ayun nga, obvious naman no na nag-CR si Folex. So, we're gonna have a bit of a dead round happening para dito sa ating mapa. And I feel like it's a well-needed one, no? Sobrang haba na ng laro na to pare.
Not to mention, no, siguro ilang sip-sip na yun sa inumin ni Folex. Tagang kailangan niya magpa-CR. The pressure is tense. Sama, you gotta let loose, especially if you got yourself at 3K with the EBR on bench in that previous round. Granted, no, kung iisipin ko yung sa tanong ko, it's easier to execute yung sa execution kasi kailangan mo lang positioning eh. Those rounds na napanalo nila, last 2 rounds, it was just a matter of positioning. Walang nag-expect kay CBN na nandun siya sa may sulok ng bar. Walang nag-expect dito kay Folex na nandun siya sa harapan ng roommate. Hindi siya nandun sa ilalim ng hagdan ng roommate. No? So, get that unexpected angle, execution, and you might just secure the overtime. Pero, then again, no, just to counter my own opinion, acceptance needs utility. Last few rounds, they have been going in dry without any util. Ginagamit nila pang setup. Maybe tama na yung setup. Kailangan nyo na gamitin sa execute, no? Just go into raw, I feel like, sa ating early angles and then use that belt para hagisan na kung ano naman dito yung mga sites natin. Doon kayo na nanalo and I feel like that might be the key to taking this ang Karama.
Oh, for sure, pare. Especially knowing the amount of space na nabibigay dito ng execration no, at the start of yung depensa natin. And ayun nga, there's not much in the way of early peaks other than kay CBN dito sa second mid. He's kind of like the only man kind of confirming no kung A or B push pa talaga to para sa side ng Exe. And ayun nga, no, Exe, honestly, it's not really a bad call para sa acceptance no, na mag-contact sila ng A side doon. I feel like nakarating na sila, na-close na nila yung distance events 100% and I don't think they expected itong si Folex to be good for 3 dito sa may room A natin. I think they were expecting na okay, 1 for 1 dito kay Folex, makakakita tayo ng top A, get some heads in this one and yun nga, no, we just played the retake defense but obviously hindi yun yung nangyari. And honestly, a really good read as well para dito sa Exe, no? Kasi I feel like one of the main reasons why kung bakit ang layo ni CBN galing dito kay Yotib is once again trying to confirm kung B-push ba to o hindi. But he's also helping kung isa-spot nila na dahil ka may B player dito, 100% may player din sa mid. So, it kinda helps the equation a bit para dito sa Exe and especially para kay MVA who has to play rotational no between yung mga sites natin pare.
We're gonna have to get back into our game mga kaibigan. Ito na. Isa na lang o isa pa para sa acceptance o sa execration makita natin ngayon, no? 9-8 ang scoreline. This for map number 3, no? For acceptance and OT and a possible 2-0 for execration and all be all tayo ngayon para sa boys in blue. So far, as is always, kapag importante yung ating round, passive ang ating mga team Sneaky. Pero wait lang, Ting, on a solo mission, they're gonna do the same exact play na ginagawa nila from the first 3 rounds. Pero samahan nila siya, no? Nakakutob din si Justin, the spam, trying to catch a few bullets to the body. Pero wala, nakatanim na sa CA at delikado na to. Kung hindi preparado si MVA sa may bypass.
It's a B fake yata. Is it not? Okay. Setup para
Diretso
dito
lang
sa B site. Maybe second mid smoke. Dito kasi lineup sa may CA eh. So, would be interesting to see. Yotib. Tapos pata na kayo mga isa sa mga players dito. on the side of
Need to be.
Acceptance, and I think they're very wary na sa mid dadaan ng mga players ng Acceptance. Look at how fast the rotate is para kay MBA, who's already in second mid. Nakatago lang sa smoke. Silent getting spotted. Double kill para sa kanya. Took a bit to finish Silent, but still he's gotten to. Heck getting MBA in return, pero CBN na-drop yung C4 sa second mid. Heck spotted sa tower. Yotib, easiest shot of his life. And si Dre na lang natitira. It's all gone wrong para dito sa Acceptance, and it only took one mid-peak galing kay Yotib, and they confirm it immediately. It is gonna be the last kill dito kay Dre, pare, and I feel like yun nga, no, false sense of security galing dito sa Acceptance. They were expecting na si CBN nakatoka lang dito sa may hotel natin, and itong si Yotib to not be looking his direction, no? Pero
Okay.
Yotib, obviously, TB peak, alam na nila na mid, very fast rotate galing kay MBA, pare.
Kaya kasalanan ko to, Sneaky, naka-Caster Curse ko. Sabi ko yung hindi pa nila natatry na isang execute yung sa high mid push, no? They actually tried it. And sakto yung position dito ng rotational player na si MVA. Getting 2, and the rest was just history nung naka-one tap na si CBN. Wala na to. Kasado na, lalo na nung namatay din si Hex sa ating tower. So, I feel like, well, they tried every trick in the book. Ito, Acceptance. And babalik na naman tayo sa overtime. 3 rounds lang. Medyo, I don't know kung ano yung magiging situation para sa Acceptance, kasi slowly but surely, no, itong Execration, yung nilamang nila as a team is mas mabilis silang makaisip ng solusyon in terms of the problems na nakakalaban nila sa harap-harapan nila. Nakita nila na yung problema dito sa kanilang depensa yung pagkawala ng tao dito kay CBN sa hotel. Dinagdagan nila ng setup. Kapag napupush naman yung kanilang site A, nag-iba lang sila ng posisyon. What if naisip din nila yung mga solution nila kapag sila naman yung nag-BL, no? Problema lang sa Acceptance yan, and for them, no? To para sa Cebu squad natin, I want to see the quick thinking and actually the solutions working, kasi hindi ka lang pwede magbigay ng solution. Kailangan tama din yan.
Yun nga, no, kailangan tama rin yung solusyon ng mga tropa natin on the side of Acceptance, no? As much as I would like to say na yun nga, no, their default has been working for the past few times, but I feel like, you know, low-key in-expect na siguro yan dito ng Execration. Especially mapapaisip ka rin, no, as the IGL dito sa timeout, ano kayang stat yung kukunin dito ng Team Acceptances? And I feel like the one that made the most sense is the one that won them yung mga early rounds nga nila dito, no? So that's a very good read. But I feel like one of the main reasons why ganda na rotation doon ni MVA, pare. I feel like MVA's positioning has been very key on why Execration is winning some of these rounds. And depende talaga sa kanya kung anong ilalakas at anong ihina dito ng mga players natin. 4 on A, and Yotib. Si Yotib pa yung namatay, pare.
Okay lang yan. Hindi nila kailangan ng sniper sa pang-rush, pare. Rifles all around. Going to win sa baka si Justin, no? Baka ma-deja vu tayo, pero may flash setups dito sila Evie at CBN. Justin Folex, entry na.
Silent. Bulag na bulag, pero babalik pa rin dito ng floor 8 with the spray. Dre with the bait on his teammate. Justin lang nakakuha ng kill sa buong Execration, and it will be MVA just getting sent dito sa EA. 10-9. Acceptance. First blood dito sa mapa natin. Execration got caught off guard. Malala, pare. Ajax using the ye old tricks, pare.
Ye old tricks talaga, no? Talagang mahirap kalabanan sa Ajax, especially pag kasama niya yung buong angkan dito na Acceptance sa ating top 8. So, at least, no? The 4 stack finally worked for Acceptance. This time, Execration rethinking their moves towards floor A. Yung stack naman ng Acceptance dito, parang nakakutob sila na walang kumakagat dito sa may hotel. Let's just throw some util, prevent them from pushing inwards habang paback tayo, and give some support dito kay Silence sa A, who is actually solo holding yung site natin. Dadating dito si Ajax, hawak-hawak niya ang TRG, pero at the same time, na Execration, they managed to pull the rotation away, pero tatlo pa rin kakalabanin nila if ide-diretso nila itong B-side push. Lose-lose situation.
Uy, pero naiwasan nila yung nasa tower. Pero wala naman tao na nasa loob ng tower, no? But you can't really be so sure, especially at this point. Kung kayo yung Execration kind of moving like Acceptance earlier, no? 4-man clearing itong hotel natin. Pero contact ba? Lack of presence, actually, from the TB side. And Dre will be the only one stopping yung push na to, pare. Side player will have to do some heavy work nga dito. NBA, first to peek out, jump peek, and Dre still getting 4! Dito sa TB! And partida tumalon pa dito si Polex, but he still hit it somehow, some way. And ayun lang. Not a flash, not a nade, not a smoke na pangharang. And it will be a 4K para nga dito kay Dre. Yotib is gonna try to get this one back pero mahirap na to pare yung C4 nasa gitna ng kawalan. 35 seconds left. He's gonna have to get 4 kills in 31 seconds. He's gonna move like Tracy McGrady pare pero pakiramdam ko babalik na lang siya min.
Wala. It only took one man to cancel out dito. Yung push na Execration. Parang na-deja vu sila pero opposite side. Yung ginagawa ni CBN. Yung ginagawa ni Polex na wala. And that's Dre with the ace. For the 11th round dito na acceptance. Grabe yun. Isa lang kailangan para magpatumba ng 4. Ang lala, sticky. So, Execration, back to the drawing board, I guess. Look at them now. Looking like acceptance on BL side. Pero, patandaan nyo guys, Execration ang nasa BL. They're trying to set up. They don't want the same mistake to happen at ayaw na ayaw mong maging 0-3 ngayon dito sa ating overtime as starting. Need to get at least one round. Yotib, a pick would be nice. Folex and CBN, kills would be nice as well. Pero while they set up dito sa may mid part ng ating mapa, waiting on CBN to activate. Medyo natakot na yata siya kasi kanina pa siya minamarkahan dyan. All the way from the first Heck ang nakahawak dito na site B.
Yun nga, Heck. Ready and waiting to receive this entire push ng Execration. First wing's already there. Miss is in pero hindi siya pwede mag-pick dito pare. Meron pang Justin na paparating ng mid and he will take out Heck. Ting na nasa loob ng spawn. Good spray down on the boxes pero hindi alam na hindi pa nakakross dito Execration. And he is gonna get off of that angle.
Ting?
Kailangan
Ting?
kunin ni Ting ang bato. And nakuha na nga dito yung bato pare. NBA a bit late on the reaction. Folex finally with the trade. Pero Folex di ka pwede tumayo dito pare. That is a very wall-bangable spot. Problema nga lang dito ng acceptance. Walang kumukuha ng
Same
second mid.
angle.
Walang kumukuha dito ng TB. So lahat ng atake nila manggagaling dito na spawn. Folex with an angle. Folex with a second. And Ajax na lang. Or Silent rather. And he is gonna keep it quiet on batteries. Good flash galing sa Execration. But also a mistake from acceptance, no? I mean,
Oo.
ang dami nilang oras dun. L to take hotel and itong TB. Pero hindi na nila tinake yung option na yun, pare.
Parang nung gumagalaw Sting, dapat at the same time gumagalaw sila pa TB, pa hotel, pa bypass. Hindi, parang steady sila nagkaroon ng ng freeze frame. Dito yung acceptance. And that is a problem right now that they're trying to solve. Tingnan mo yung mga camera nila. Kung saan nakatingin si Ajax is trying to talk to Silent. Ting. Well, they're kind of listening to each other. The 3 core members dito ng acceptance talking about the game plan. So far, they can solidify their stake at being a contender by taking a map and forcing Eagle Eye dito against Execration and possibly beat Execration in their current best map, which is Eagle Eye nga. Or will Execration pull off the comeback after getting aced by Dre after that crumble of a first round against the 4 stack dito sa site A ng acceptance? They got 1 in return, but can they get 3 straight? That is my question ngayong swap sides tayo. Let's see that replay, no? Ito yung sinasabi ko, gumalaw na si Ting. Pero nasaan yung ibang members na acceptance na dapat tumuloy? May tao sa mid, hindi niya tinuloy sa TV. So questions and questions again dito para sa acceptance. What should you do? Once Heck goes down, Silent picking up the mantle of the IGL, pero he's not being given any windows of possibility dito, Sneaky. Now they have to work in a 4v5.
And of course, alam naman natin na Heck exactly has to peek like this, no? But speaking of peeking with the sniper, pare, Ajax na spatan na nga dito si Yotib. Repick pa kaya to? Uy, Ajax spotted. Crouch peek. Ooh! Oh! There we go.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Medyo nag-freeze frame lang tayo ng mga kaibigan sa
Nag-correct lang yung
side
timeline,
namin.
pare.
Nag-correct lang nag-snap, may nag-snap ng finger.
May nag-snap ng
Pero,
finger, nawala si Ajax at si Heck. Wait, hold on.
Pero babalik lang din tayo dito, no? 3v5 pa rin. Walang na-disrupt sa space-time continuum na laro natin. CBN, tatry niya.
Yun lang. That's 1, that's 2 para kay CBN. And napakadali ng angulo, Noel. Pag nasa harap niya na lang dito yung kalaban, it's not left or behind. Or to
It's
his
right in front of
pare.
him.
Just right in front of him. You know, it's impossible to pick CBN from that spot. I'll know. Ting, last one left alive. And ayun nga, no, trying to wallbang battle with an EBR isn't a good idea, pare. Pero Ting still 4 players up against him. Pero spotted na nga siya dito sa market and it will be an 11-11. I assume next will be a dead round.
There we go. Alright. So, hindi lang pala yung DR duo yung suki dito ng dead round. Pati tayo. I feel like we experienced this on the first day of summer. And if someone is keeping count, can you please tell us how many dead rounds has it been?
4.
Oh, yeah. 4. Okay. One more, bibihin ko na tayo. Pero, I feel like, so far, Execration with that round, it was purely Yotib, man. Napag-usapan natin kahapon na Yotib, his performance when he was on Spring in Cuerdas, and then compare it to Execration, he fell off. Technically in the stats. But he did not fall off, pare. He is not required to pull off those stats kasi solid naman yung team niya, no? And in these clutch moments, dun lang talaga siya makita. And nakita mo naman yung effect. He got the first pick dun sa Vents, if tama ako, rotated all the way sa 2F. And got the second sniper pa nga dito kay Ajax. So, without those kills, no? Siguro addendum na lang dito yung ginawa ni CBN. Without those first 2 kills though, it might have been disaster for the side of Execration. But lo and behold, they tied up 11-11. And I feel like he's the genie that makes their wish come true.
Yun nga, man. And it feels like, it kind of feels like yung sniping game ni Yotib, no, from yesterday's games, especially dun sa Eagle Eye where he took out both, you know, the secondary and the main sniper na si Wuzat, ito si Tetsu, and, you know, we are almost kind of saying the same thing dito sa mapa natin. It feels like itong si Yotib, no, he really does operate the best pag sobrang intense na ng sitwasyon kasi napaka-cool ng ulo niya, pare, despite everything that is happening, despite all the context dito ng ating overtime and it being a back and forth, no, you can kind of rely upon itong si Yotib being ice cold pagdating sa mga clutches natin, and hindi nga siya matatakot sa ganun na sitwasyon, pare, as long as he has a good angle, no, kasi multiple times nakita na natin na na-punish dito si Yotib dito sa B-side for, you know, kind of rechalling in this one, pero pagdating kasi sa ganitong sitwasyon, man, confidence can really win you some angles in this one, and confidence hindi naman naglalak dito si Yotib, pare. So, Execration kinda back in the game, but at the same time, it's still acceptance on 11 as well, so paunahan na lang silang uminit dito sa ating next 2 rounds, pare, kasi yun nga, a 12-point lead, or at least going into 12 would mean everything para sa kanila, pare, and I have a gut feeling baka mag-golden pa tayo dito, man.
I was about to ask you the same question. What's the probability of hitting the golden round? I would say right now, 60-40 leaning towards Execration because of the setup na nakuha nila dito sa ating GR side, no? And especially knowing na the longer the GR side went nung regulation natin, the more they found the solutions, no? 3 rounds back-to-back they got, and I feel like if you give them the second half dito na overtime sa GR, which they currently are in, talagang the boys in Etivac will surely deliver, no? I feel like so far, Yotib has been a crucial component of the team. And not just him, no? CBN, much as he has been being targeted dito sa ating first half and early this second half, the bounce back when the timeout came out dito sa Execration has been great as well. And not just any bounce back, the consistency of the headshots still there with the HK, no? Not to mention Folex as well. A bit silent, sure, pero still, alam natin na yung pinaka-noise maker dito na Execration is going to be him. I feel like the adjustments, makikredit natin sa kanya if ever man na makuha natin siya in the interview again. If, and only if, Execration wins this one. Pero acceptance, all hope is not lost. Kayang-kaya nyo pa rin yan. If Dre can pull off another ace, if Hex somehow wins the sniper battle laban dito kay Yotib, there's still ways to go, no? Maybe do your patented play sa Site A, much like that SS play, then you're good, no, for 12. Pero we'll see how it goes, Nikki, because the 4-1, isa nasa bypass, ito yung nagmamarka dito ng possible push ni CBN, and the 4 members dito sa floor A, well, they have to be careful. They're sending Ajax Surprisingly, naka-ABR na siya, hindi na siya naka-sniper. Pero they're gonna call him back instantly just to check dun sa boxes natin kung may tao nga. And now, classic acceptance. Going for the passive play into the sudden push. We'll see the setup and then we'll see them go at it. Pero again, look at the rotation ni MVA. Parating na siya sa site and when the hit comes out from acceptance, it just might be too late kasi ready stuck na.
And yun nga, Silent and the boys have made it into vents and has scared off itong si Folex from holding it. Smoke, papunta dito sa EA. But this is the dangerous thing about acceptance. No? Hindi ka pa talaga sure kung ito na ba talaga yung full commit. Galing sa kanila pare, they also have the option to just get one kill and kind of U-turn back. Papunta dito na CA, pero Folex not gonna be blinded whatsoever. Headshot agad dito kay Ajax. Pero acceptance, taking their sweet time, avoiding yung mga counter flashes dito ng ating Exit Squad. Ito yung sinasabi ko. They don't have to commit to this one just yet. One of their members died. Ajax is out of commission at pwede pa silang umikot papunta ng B. However, merong may iwan dito sa ating LA side and would be possibly preventing any of these players from rotating a bit too early via itong CA natin. Pero wala na siyang choice min eh. Wala nang choice itong si Heki. Has to rotate. Instead, will be guarding it from the CA side. Kasi yung HE min, dahil dun naspatan siya. Actually, pero teka lang, acceptance. Now crawling dito sa B-side, pure contact, Yotib ready and waiting! Natamaan pa rin dito si Silent, quick scope, not enough para dito kay Ting, pero MBA with the cover is there, CBN, headshot for him. And spotting itong si Ting, here's an HE buddy. Pero hindi siya natamaan dito men. But still, he's on life support. 10 seconds left. Choices to make. And it's the wrong one. 12-11. Execration have survived. Overtime and regulation potentially. Pero kailangan pa nila makuha itong last round natin.
Yeah, some call it lucky, some call it unlucky, but 13 is what you need to get dito para manalo. Straight 2-0. Looking at the replay, Folex ang ganda ng angle. Tumagos sa kanya yung mga flash na hinagis na acceptance. And that is what actually led him to get that kill, no? Na stop dito yung push ng acceptance. They made them rethink their decision and dun tayo matatalo. Lagi ko sinasabi, acceptance medyo nag-halt yung decision making nila when they are on the man disadvantage. Sa mga 4v5, sa mga 3v4, medyo nagkakaroon sila ng hesitation. So, contrary to what you said, Sneaky, I feel like they should have continued, no? Kasi they could have chanced it out. Pero, then again, you are on the losing side. You need to make a heroic play. They just didn't snap at it. And ngayon, they just got constricted with the options going into site B. Tutuloy-tuloy lang tayo dito sa ating na passive play. Heck no, it's gonna be challenging!
Oh my
Ayun
God! Ngayon ka pa
Mapapapalak
tumama
pa
ng
talaga.
ganyan, Paul. Heck, kanina pang binubuli itong si Paul Man, not gonna lie. And he finally got the revenge that he wanted, no pun intended. Oy, tas nahulog pa si Dre dahil kay Yotib pare. No way, this is
Soul
an
falling
acceptance. Falls apart dito sa mapa natin. Now it is up to the mid-round. Literal na nasa mid na dito yung acceptance. Silent has to go beast mode dito sa B-side. MBA spotting both. Ajax on the angle pero inaantay pa rin kung sino una magpipick. Silent a bit dry on the money. MBA nakaalis pa nga dito sa bato. Ajax would be trying to push pero stuck sila sa base pre. Stuck sila sa base ng kalaban at hindi sila makakaalis. Oh my goodness me, 35 seconds. Yotib with the hit. Ting clawing dito sa ating mapa pero wala na siyang makukuha. 13-11. Execration na stress sa Ankara. But what is pressure kung mananalo naman kayo at the end. Acceptance, a very nice try pero Execration seems like the journey to number 1 is still on pare.
Woo! Talagang ano magagawa ng acceptance na corner. Well, it's over. Victory 2-0 para sa Execration. I feel like it's a well-deserved win. They had to think for that one, Sneaky. They had to think for that one. They had to shoot for that one. And I feel like pag na-realize nila na yung mga mistakes na nangyayari sa acceptance match na to, or rather versus acceptance, keeps continuing, well, their playoffs spot is going to be dangerous. No? Or rather, yung maging laro nila sa playoffs is going to be dangerous. Buti nga no, na-exploit dito na acceptance yung mga mistakes nila. Kasi kung hindi acceptance yung magpapakita ng mistakes, no, if you're in the mindset na I'm Execration at yung acceptance gumagawa nito sa akin, parang you have to rethink your decisions, no, and you have to be cleaner. if you are on the side of the boys in blue. Pero, man, acceptance. They have been showing us that they can go toe-to-toe. Household name, no? From long ago, coming back dito sa 2026. And may ibubuga, pero hanggang dun lang, no? If Fervid got beaten up, well, they sure as hell tried talaga dito sa Execration, pero kinapos lang, no? Talagang onting piga lang siguro yung kinakailangan pa bago sila makuha ng map win dito sa Ankara, pero wala. Execration just got themselves in the right direction, and the fixes in the timeouts, yun yung siguro sa akin yung naging determining factor sa kanilang 2-0.
Ayun nga pare, I feel like acceptance, especially in that last round, parang they're really banking on everything. They put all the chips on Heck getting that opening, no, dito sa may vent side natin. But you know, Folex, one of the few times na he is not just sticking out the nade, tas nakatingin lang siya dito sa gilid, dito sa vent side natin. You know, he was actually jiggle peeking actively, no? And the fact na nakuha niya pa dun si Heck really just started off, really just made sure that the start of the round really wasn't going in the way dito na acceptance, and kind of just cascaded from there, no? Hindi na nakuha yung 5v4 nila. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, no? And that's pretty much it from us. This is Ellen Sneaky Frog nga pala. Mochi, Salvatore, kamusta kayo dyan? What can you say about this match between Execration and Acceptance?
Maraming salamat sa ating mga casters, and before ko ilatag ang aming mga thoughts, I want to give a quick shout out to Dado, who's been quite of a team acceptance glazer, kasi parang meron siyang na-jinx dito, no? Salvatore, tinatanong niya sa atin kanina, how come the team acceptance is beating every single one dito sa ating mga contenders sa mapa ng Ankara, and it appears that it seems like he just cursed them. Kasi si Execration pa rin ang nakakuha ng mapa natin ng Ankara na patagal lang, no? It took them quite a lot of brain power before they even secured this map, which just shows din naman, no, na maganda ang stature ni Team Acceptance, which explains the 75% win rate na meron sila dito.
Kung totoo lang no, kung magkakatotoo naman yung sinabi ni Dadom, no, kung first to 11 yung match, kaso nga lang pre, what a comeback of Execration in the overtime. Considering na medyo dihado nga sila heading into the second half, ang laki nga na nakuwang lamang ng na acceptance dito, no, as far as going as 8-5 kung di ako nagkakamali, no. And it's that bit of pressure, no? Parang longevity means everything para sa laban nga na to. At naipamalas naman ng Execration na habang tumatagal yung mga rounds, they can crawl back into relevancy. Meaning, pre, habang tumatagal na naiisip nga nila yung mga magagandang plays na appropriate para makancel. Una, si Dre, pangalawa, si Heck. Those are the two primary targets na palaging pinapangunahan ng Execration, no? At alam mo talaga na napaka-valuable ng ginagawa nila Dre. Especially sa play nga na to, no? What an amazing 4K headshot para kay Dre, and to secure the ace, alam mo talaga na dapat yan ang pinipili na patumpahin ng Execration, no? Multiple heroics from Silent and Ting, pero kulang lang talaga sa decision making in the end of overtime. Ito ang acceptance. Yeah, Execration, you got to give them some praise, no? Kasi they maintain their stability, hindi sila nagpatinag, they utilize the timeout perfectly, Mochi, and you can see the results of the fruits of labor, no, dito ni MVA, maintaining, you know, itong mental ng team, and as well as yung composure para tumutok talaga sila lahat.
Yeah, and at the same time, no, that very stability na they had dito, no, for Execration, they fought for it talaga, no, which has been obvious just by given dito, no, sa ating rating is pretty high, but it is not perfect, no. Ang daming pinagdaanan ng Execration para ma-sementa at makuha itong mapa ng Ankara. Props to Paul for getting that 18, 13, 11 out of 18, no, na headshots natin with quite of the highest rating dito in Execration. Pero, dude, si Dre, no? Grabe yung performance ni Dre. And, grabe, massive valiant effort para sa kanya. And unfortunately nga lang, no, kinapos ng bahagya ang Team Acceptance because when it came down to Execration, trying to adjust every single round, no, parang nagkaroon ng kakulangan na sa mid-round calling and micro decision making dito ang Team Acceptance para mapunan yon ng pansin. Pero ito nga ang ating MVP, no, si Paul pa rin talaga. Wherein parang kahapon lang sinasabi natin, sana mas makita pa namin, no. At sabi niya, sige, I got you guys, no. So si Paul pa rin ang ating MVP dito ngayon, no? Ano ba nga mababanggit natin dyan? Salvi, parang wala nang bago dito.
Wala na eh, no? Kahit feeling ko, kahit maging match MVP si CBN, si Pollex pa rin yung ipapadala nga nila. Yun, so might as well, si Pollex na lang yung overall MVP. Which I do believe, no, is very well deserved naman para kay Pollex, no? From both Port and Ankara, nararamdaman mo ka talaga yung impact frags niya and the decision making for the betterment of mid-round netong Execration. Alam mo talaga na si Pollex yung nag-create nun because it's effective, it's optimal, and it's well executed, no? It's the mere idea, no, na napapalago pa ng Execration yung sitwasyon ng mga 3v4s, 3v5s kasi nga they just have better positioning against Acceptance, no? And props talaga to Acceptance, no? NT para nga sa kanila, but at the end of the day, the team with the better longevity and the better lengthiness talaga ng pag-curate ng mga magagandang plays will be the victor of this series. Kaya congratulations kay Pollex kasi nasecure niya yung MVP na yun para makuha ng Execration ng buong series.
Exactly. And with that being said, no, i-reveal na natin kung sino nga ba ang ating match MVP, no, na talagang nag-arkela ng lahat, no other than CBN. Tama naman, no? Kaya lang kasi parang alam na natin, no, someone else will be brought here dito, no, sa ating interview. Pero pag-usapan muna natin CBN simula ng ating unang linggo until now, first place for players to look out for at kung paano ba naman din ko consistent na pumatay, kumuha. Dude, CBN talaga ang maaasahan at maipapakita dito sa ating mga screen.
CBN, no? Sana talaga ikaw na may interview nga namin. Marami kaming gustong katanungan, honestly, no? And definitely, isa sa mga pinaka high-ranking players na meron nga tayo ngayon, no? And CBN has been leading the headshot per kill, finishing the series with not just a .70 or .60, no? He finished the series with a .87, no, Mochi. Lahat na nakakasalabuhan ni CBN, mapa HM man ng Ankara o mapa LA man ng Port, guarantee sabog talaga ang utak ng mga yun, eh, no, from a headshot perspective. And not just that, his ability to maintain every single quality ng mga laban, no, is just amazing. Na parang it's always a guaranteed headshot. Look at the highlights pa lang, nagsisiliparan yung mga bungo ng Acceptance dito, no, and it really shows the Execration's practice, Execration's regiment, and Execration's overall presence sa mga matches ay hindi nakakapanghina ng loob para may mag-stand out talaga, no? And CBN, I feel like, is the mediator, eh, no? Pag may mga sumasala, si CBN ang sasalo. Pag kinakailangan, si CBN nag-i-entry. Usually, naglalurk siya. But in this specific case, no, na binibigyan natin ng paratang si CBN in his BL sides from both maps, parang ang ganda lang ng presensya dito ni CBN on an aspect na kinakailangan mo ng headshot, pre, kailangan mo patayin lahat, ha? Kaya ikaw na bahala dyan. Men, parang hindi nawawalan ng headshots tong reels na to.
Exactly. And every single time, no, he never fails to perform, no. I feel like CBN is the constant na talagang maaasahan and an advantage that you can revolve on, no, na para dito for Execration. Pero nakita ko na yung reaction ng kasama ko. Sabi ko, nako po, ito na naman tayo, no? Welcome na natin dito ngayon ang ating i-interviewin, our representative and as well as our set 2 na ating MVP. Wala nang iba kundi si Paul X.
Na may kasama.
Surprise
na may kasamang CBN.
Si CBN po yung yung match MVP. Ako po yung
si Paul
translator niya ngayon.
Interpreter.
Yes.
Yun.
Okay, translator.
Translator.
May pagano na tayo ngayon, no? Gusto ko to, no? So, kitang-kita naman, no, down below, CBN as our match MVP. Well, it appears na talagang consistent ang ating performance, CBN. Ano ba nga, more na lang to, no? Getting to, no? Ano ba nga inaalmusal natin kung bakit ganyan ka mag-perform at bakit laging ganyan kagaling?
Parang ano daw yung parang sekreto mo kung bakit ganyan ka consistent. At ba't daw ganun ka maglaro? Ano bang ginagawa mo? Ano bang
Ano lang. FPP lang, 4 hours sa isang araw. Yan.
Sa isang araw. Anong ginagawa natin dito? Maraming salamat sa sagot na yan, no? Sige, go, Salvatore.
Bago matulog sa pagising, 4 hours. Bali, 8 hours.
8 hours FFA daw siya. 8 hours FFA siya.
8 hours na FFA.
Pagkagising, bago matulog, ganun.
12
So,
minutes
yun
pa
yung
nga lang
9
na
to 5
FFA.
ni
Pagod na ako, eh.
Ano ba?
Yan yung 9 to 5 ni CBN, yung pag-FFP.
Baga trabaho mo na talaga, mag-headshot
Trabaho
mo
mo na.
CBN. Yung sinasabi dito
Yun
ni
na talaga
Mochi.
yun.
Kumbaga karir mo na.
So yun CBN, no? Naramdaman naman siguro na Execration yung impact mo as a player. Pero ito nga pala yung season na parang na-emphasize na yung pagiging lurker mo talaga eh, no? Na parang nababasa mo yung galaw ng kalaban. Sino bang tumutulong sa'yo para malaman mo yung place mo sa team? O kagagawan lang to ni CBN kaya nakakatulong to para sa success ng team?
Ano lang, pag may info sa kabila, syempre alam mo na yung gagawin ko pag ganun. Pag may info na ganun. Ayun lang po.
Napakasimple lang na Mochi. Basta info, ako na bahala. Sure na headshot niya. Follow-up question lang din CBN. Ito ang kara na to. Kita mo nga naman na medyo nahirapan dito si Execration. No? Ano yung ginawa ni CBN? Ano yung tinulong mismo ni CBN para ma-secure na Execration yung buong series? Kasi men, isipin nyo 8 to 5 na habol nyo pa yun. Pero out of all the players, si CBN talaga yung nag-step up. No? So anong ginawa ni CBN? Ano ba yung naging epekto ng playstyle mo para maiangat mo yung bandera na Execration nang makuha niyo yung series?
Ano lang, may konting adjustment na po, tapos yung mga biglang adjustment, ayun lang.
Kung ano daw, parang sinasabi niya na yung mga adjustment na kailangan niyang gawin kasi ayun nga, pagka hindi niya kaya yung isang ganito, ina-adjust niya agad.
Alright.
Kaya-
Ay, pretty
Kaya man,
straightforward,
Mochi,
no? Same, no? Pretty straightforward naman, no? Minsan nga, kahit na kung gaano kakomplikado yung outcome natin, minsan sinisimplihan lang because that's the best way to go about it. Pero, ang tanong ko dito, no? Since bihira lang si CBN sa ating desk, na ini-interview natin ng ganito, no? What a rare opportunity. Pero, ayun, no? CBN, ang tanong ko sa'yo ay, what made you commit to the lurker role entirely? At kung ano yung pinakamahirap na match mo ngayon dito sa group stage so far?
Ano daw tol, kumbaga parang ano ba yung nagpursige sa'yo? Kung ano yung nag-push sa'yo bilang, yan, sa role mo ngayon, na lurker ka, ganun. Ano yung...
Tama.
Ano yung parang naging reason kung bakit? Ano sa tingin mo? Ano bang rason?
Ano pre?
Ano pre? Di ba? Tinanong nila, parang ano yung parang naging commit mo din sa role mo na ano ka, na lurker ka, backstab ka, ganon. Siguro sabihin mo na lang kung sino yung nag-place sa'yo sa ganong sa ganong point kung bakit ka naging lurker.
Ano?
Yeah.
Di sa una pa lang, ano talaga yan ako eh.
Ay, role mo.
Position ka, role ka eh.
Kumbaga in the ano pa lang talaga, early days pa lang dito sa EXA. Yun na talaga yung pinaka-role niya. So, parang pinanindigan niya lang.
Gan.
Set na talaga. So, ano yung pinakamahirap lurkan ba, CBN? Sa mga napagdaanan yung mga laban?
Ano daw pinanahirapan ka? Saan ka nahirapan mag-lurk? Ganun, kumbaga, parang sino ba yung parang napansin mo na hindi ka napapatay ka ganun.
Wala naman po. Komportable naman ako sa sa role ko, ganun po.
Alright, sige.
Panis ka Mochi Bella.
Hindi niya inaalintana, no? Panista yan lahat.
Sa madaling salita, tatranslate ko Ito, rekta talaga, 1-to-1 translation.
Sige,
Ang dali ng mga kalaban.
Ano.
Masyado kayo madali.
Ay! Yun pala yun!
Sinabi niya yun.
So, yun pala yung
Sinabi
niya yun.
Sinabi ko yun.
Sinabi mo yun. Feel ko sinabi mo nga yun. Pero do you have any additional questions, Salvatore? Last natin.
Wala na. Baka may gusto pagsabihin dito si CBN bilang pambati. No? Baka mas malapit pa yan.
Shoutout ka daw.
Shoutout ka na. Sige, go.
Shout po sa boss namin si Boss P. Sa Execration Fab. Sa tropa namin dyan sa labas. Shout na rin po sa Joa. Sa Indy.
Yun!
Ano pa pangalan?
Ano pangalan?
Candy Ann?
Ano?
Kinilig ka, boss. Huli ka.
Shoutout mo si Algas. Shoutout to ZYK. I am CBN.
Shout sa Lolo ZYK.
Yun. That's our lolo right there. Maraming salamat. salamat CBN and as well as Paul X, our honorable translator, Tagalog to Tagalog.
Tagalog to
Ngayon ako,
Salamat po.
ayaw na kami no? Parang sobrang
Partida Tagalog lang, tinatranslate ko pa talaga sa kanya. Hinihimay ko pa.
Tagalog to Tagalog.
ang galing niyo
Tagalog
talaga.
to
Tagalog. Kasi explain ko sa kanya into details para mas maintindihan niya.
Very helpful, Paul, no? Maraming salamat. Maraming
Thank you
salamat at congrats, no? It's very nice na nakita
Congrats.
namin kayo muli, no?
Thank
sa
you po.
ating desk and see you sa mga susunod niyong mga laban.
Thank you! Thank you!
Thank you!
Welcome,
You're
Polex.
welcome! And thank you!
Grabe no, Mochi.
Grabe.
Si CBN no? Si CBN feeling ko kailangan niya pa rin ng kuya para makapag-enroll eh. No? At si Polex yung nagmimistulang kuya niya. No? Shoutout dito kay Polex no, na technically kailangan din natin eh. No? Kasi may gets mo talaga paano sumagot si CBN ever since the early days. Nahihirapan talaga siya medyo express yung sarili niya. Pero maraming salamat Polex sa Tagalog to Tagalog
thank you,
translator nga
guys.
natin eh. No? Na kahit si CBN ang MVP natin, ayan, nandyan pa rin si Polex.
May bonus.
Paano pa pag si Yotib yung naging MVP?
Ay, ewan ko na lang talaga, no? Pero, alam mo, kung mangyari ba yun, excited ako doon. Pero sabi nga nila, no, Salvatore, pagka may isang introvert, matik may kasamang extrovert yan. May kasama. May +1 automatically. At yun yung nakita natin dito, no, sa ating interview desk. Pero guys, natapos na ang ating unang kabanata of Execration versus Team Acceptance. And right now, matakaroon tayo ng tapatan for Combat Friends and as well as Team Stallions maya-maya. Do you have any expectations and input para dito, Salvatore, bago tayo mag-break?
CBF no? Sana nakapagsulat-sulat nga kayo, nakapaghanda-handa nga kayo kasi ibang stallions na yung mga kasalamuhan nyo. Meron nang maghihigante dito, no? Kung kahapon meron tayong Makta Civil War Mochi, meron tayong part 2 dito, no? Aldrin versus Revenge coming up dito sa ating laban na to. And I cannot wait kasi papatunay ng CBF na yung nangyari nung Swiss na dumikit tayo sa kanila, gagawin lang din namin ngayon. Pero ang kapalit naman nito ay panalo na kami. Yun ang sinasabi ng CBF.
Yes, at ang nakaraan and the Phantoms of Pacific Makta still lingers dito sa susunod nating laban. Kaya maya-maya, abangan ninyo muli Comeback Friends versus Team Stallions after ng ating break.